Hello and welcome back to the stream where today we are going to be playing Genshin Impact. Now last time we left off learning about something called canned knowledge. Technically I already knew about it, but I digress. Um, we learned about canned knowledge and basically about Kusanali's birthday. I forgot what it was called. We'll learn that in a second, but the academia sent us, well, not the academia themselves, but we were on a mission to search for this thing called divine canned knowledge. Now, the academia was actually looking for that, and I'll hate them got it in the end. With the big battle with the big guy. That was really cool, honestly. But what was it called again? We were going to the Subsidiaries Festival because that is basically Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. The Subsidiaries Festival is about to begin. As agreed, you return to Sumeru City to find Dunyarzad and take part in the festival together. Now, the academia, or actually a lot of Sumeru people, don't like Lesser Lord Kusanali just because they don't think of her as their god. They think of the previous god.
We didn't miss the Sub-Zero's festival, right? Let's hurry and find Dunyarzad. Paimon thinks she must be around the Grand Bazaar since she showed
They
us around
still
there last
basically believe that the previous lord, the lord that died, god that died, whatever, Greater Lord Rukadavada, is their true Archon. So they don't like Kusanali, and I don't like that they don't like her. Because the academia will definitely go to lengths to stop anything related to Kusanali, as you might be able to see further on in this quest.
Dunyarzad, we're back!
How long has it even been? Has it been like a day?
I'm so glad that you two came back to celebrate Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday.
It is an important festival, plus birthdays include cake, so...
Indeed. The festival's tomorrow. We've been preparing for so long that I can't help but feel a little nervous.
So long? I was here yesterday!
I'm unsure that Lesser Lord Kusanali will feel everyone's gratitude.
I hope she does.
Thanks,
I
Paimon.
actually like
I
Kusanali.
hope that everyone who
And
comes
all the
to
other
festival
Archons,
will
but...
also have a good time. Speaking of which, did you manage to make your way to Port Ormos?
Also, all the people...
Discover anything over there?
All the people down here are basically like people that like Lesser Lord Kusanali, I think.
Of course we went.
Definitely Dunyarzad and Nilu. And kind of Dea? The Dea is mainly just following Dunyarzad around. Yeah, we were only left more questions because that one guy that walked away in handcuffs, the guy that tried to consume the divine knowledge, not a smart idea, by the way. As he was walking away, he said, "World forget me," which is what Lumine heard at when she first encountered Irminsul. And I'm so confused by that. I think I know why that is, but it's revealed much later.
I see.
Because this Archon quest
Sounds
is
like you two
long.
had
Let
another
me
exciting adventure.
see how long Google says it is. 7 to 8 hours. Okay, so it's gonna take a few streams, but that's fine. Because I'm doing this mainly, well, because I wanted to do this in the first place, but for the event too. Though there is technically 40 days for that event, I want to get to it as soon as possible.
If there is another chance, I would love to join.
And technically I can start the event without doing the quest, but I really want to do the event lore stuff too.
My lady, if you went to Port Ormos in your current state, we'd both be in for a lifetime of trouble.
Yeah, we were kind of threatened by Dea yesterday as well.
You were eavesdropping.
Wait,
It's called covert protection. Keeping an ear out for what's going on around my employer is part of the job.
a true bodyguard.
It's alright, Dia. I merely said I would like to go. I know better than to think my body could handle it. The
See,
festival's
I
tomorrow.
think she's
I've been doing
Elazar,
nothing
because
but
she does
causing
have
trouble for
bandages
you.
around her wrist
So do you
too.
please take some time to relax?
And said she's been sick since
I'll
she
be
was
fine.
a kid.
Even when you put it that way, it still doesn't feel right.
Don't worry,
And I
my
mean,
guardian
she gets
knight.
exhausted easily, so
Okay,
it
fine,
might be
but only
Elazar?
tonight. Tomorrow's a big day, and many no-good scumbags are gonna try to take advantage of that.
Obviously. They're called the Academia.
Oh, you two must be exhausted from your long journey back to
Not
the
really,
city.
we just teleported.
My apologies for not realizing this sooner. I've already prepared a room for you to rest. Please follow me.
Aw, thank you, Junior Zod.
Oh, you're so thoughtful. Paimon's
See,
so
I
ready.
actually really like Junior Zod too. She's really nice and actually is trying to help us. Now, we didn't mention anything about our sibling, which is actually really sad because she's not mentioning anything about her sibling. She's looking for her sibling in a basically different way by asking where are the Archons instead. Because the Archons probably would have more knowledge than anybody else. I'll take that. Ooh, what are those petals? Those look like sakura blossoms from Inazuma. Is this like a hotel or something?
Here we are. It's also fairly close to where I've been staying.
Have you not been staying at your house?
Looks really nice.
Is it like a one-room hotel or?
Not at all. Just tell me more about your adventures when you next get the chance.
Aww.
That's Paimon's specialty. Paimon can tell you stories next time.
So, the plans for tomorrow, what are they?
Oh, if you don't mind, how about we all walk around together tomorrow? All of my friends will be working the festival, and Dia is still insisting on her covert protection.
Aha. Yeah, I kind of noticed that.
Yeah. It'll be pretty hard to relax and enjoy the festival if Dia's constantly hovering over you, right?
At least she's, like, kind of your friend. If not completely your friend. I'll keep you company.
Then let's meet at the nearby bazaar first thing tomorrow morning. Have a great night.
It's a deal. Good night, Dunyarzad.
I may be too excited to fall asleep tonight. See you tomorrow.
Paimon's starting to really look forward to the Sub-Zero festival too.
Heck yeah.
Will there be lots of yummy food?
Well, I mean, that
Oh,
one
no.
little girl did
Thinking about
mention
food is
the
just gonna keep Paimon
candy
up all night.
dude.
The earlier we sleep, the better. Let's go inside, traveler.
Okay. Now, if you haven't done this...
Did we oversleep?
Oh, maybe not. Now, if you haven't done the Sumeru Archon quest yet and you're watching it from me, you actually want to pay close attention to, like, small details that will happen soon.
We should go meet Dunyarzad right away.
I'll mention the details when they get pointed out. Okay, but there's 2 entrances to the bazaar. Unless she meant... Did she mean over here? Oh, yeah, she meant over here. This is the Grand Bazaar? I'm so confused.
Traveler, Paimon, I've been waiting for you two.
Good morning, Dunyarzad. We must have overslept a little bit.
How long have you been waiting? Oh, yeah, overslept.
Not at all. I arrived early. Today is finally here. I must cherish every moment as if it were gold.
You've worked so
Aw.
hard for this day. You gotta enjoy it to the fullest.
You know it. Oh, it's just that, as expected, I had some trouble falling asleep last night. I'm hoping my body won't be too much of an issue today.
Oh, that would be so sad if it
Well,
was.
Shall we? Let's start with the stalls over there.
Colorful.
Many vendors came out of the blue to support the event, and they insisted on covering costs themselves. Let's go give them some business.
Well, I mean, at least some people like Lesser Lord Kusanali, not just you guys.
Not in this just for the Mora.
They all said that contributing to a lively festival atmosphere is more important than money.
Aww.
Especially since we don't often get to celebrate Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Kinda
they're
hard
selling
to
food
celebrate an Archon's birthday, but
This is a stall offering foods from the Haftmewa feast.
Oh, you could
the
tell straight
what
away.
feast?
I thought most people nowadays wouldn't know.
mushrooms, flowers, and all kind of fruit. It's all vegetarian stuff.
Yeah.
Aw, Paimon's a little disappointed.
It's literally Sumeru, the nation of grass. What do you mean it's
Haftmewa
just
feast you
vegetarian
mentioned just
stuff?
now.
It's another Sub-Zero's festival tradition.
Sumeru is
People used to set their
literally
tables with 7
vegetation.
different foods. Generally speaking, the most common selections
I mean, there's
are
the
foods like
desert, but we're
Fukushima
not counting that
mushrooms,
now.
Nilopala lotuses, Sumera roses, Sunsetias, Capulatas, Hara fruits, and Zaytun peaches.
Are all those edible?
So, the Sub-Zero Festival is a vegetarian holiday?
Paimon, you were
You don't
in
have to be a
Sumeru.
vegetarian to enjoy the spread. We just use the 7 foods to symbolize the 7 virtues of the Dendro Archon.
7 virtues? Of course there has to be 7, because that's like a lucky number. Like 7 Archons.
Then wouldn't the Pyro Archons Festival be full of food like roasted fowl, juicy
She
meatballs,
actually makes a good
grilled
point.
steak? Oh, Traveler, we have to go to Natlan as soon as possible.
We still have to go through Fontaine.
I hope
Apparently.
your wish comes true one day, Paimon.
Thanks. All right, how about we also check out some of these other stalls?
Candy stall! Oh, this
Dear
is the candy
customers,
stall!
Would you like to try your hand at alchemical divination?
Divination?
What's alchemical divination?
That's what I was asking.
Things sound like they'd be fun to try together.
See, I remember
Right?
some
I
of
thought
this,
the
but I
same when I first
don't
heard about
as
it.
well.
It is said to be a mysterious craft invented by none other than Lesser Lord Kusanali herself.
Oh?
So, how does it work?
It's quite simple. After you give me any 2 alchemical reagents, I'll use them to perform a random transmutation.
I wonder if it really is random.
Sounds random. So random that it will probably fail.
Oh!
That is precisely what we need. After
What
the
you need,
transmutation fails, your one and only diviner here will interpret the remnants.
That's a little too random, though.
Well, according to Lesser Lord Kusanali, everything is interconnected, and all that occurs can be traced back to fate.
Quite
You could say
literally
this is a
roots,
pearl
then?
of old wisdom.
Why does everything sound so much more credible when Dunyarzad says it? Are you
Because
guys
it sounds
working
so much
together?
smarter?
So that's the true wisdom behind it. This young lady sure knows her stuff.
Oh, yeah,
So,
especially about
how about it?
Kusanali.
Want to give it a try?
Sure, I guess. Oh, I can really pick 2 random things. Okay, well, I guess I can only pick 1 from here, so I'll do that one, and then... What should I pick? I'll pick the Crystal Marrow. What do you think of that?
Okay, one moment. It's the moon.
I wonder if that actually changes depending on
Paimon
what
wants to
you
take a look too.
pick.
Is it? It looks more like a pie that Paimon bit into.
No, I think this is the same that I
Generally
remember,
speaking,
actually.
the moon signifies.
Maybe.
It means. Wait a moment.
What does the moon mean?
Is he really looking it up in a book?
Is this like similar to like how people do palm readings, but instead of palm reading, it's alchemical readings?
Oh, I remember now. It means illusions and lies.
Okay, why is that so creepy though? As I said, pay attention to the finite details. Why is that so creepy?
Illusions and lies? That sounds rather ominous.
Yeah, it does!
Yes, but this book says that if you trust your intuition and overcome your fears, the sun will surely rise.
He's not even trying to hide his book anymore.
Naturally,
Not that
fate
he could
will
hide
only
it
ever show
before.
you the beginning of a journey. It is up to you to forge your own ending.
Dunyarzad,
Thank you
you're
so
so
much. I'll
wise!
keep that in mind.
Oh, it's
So
nothing.
why are you taller
just
than me,
learning as I
Dunyarzad?
go.
That's not fair.
Guess that was still pretty interesting. Okay, on to the next stall.
Now, is that the weird Candyman stall?
They say the Sub-Zeros festival was very
Maybe, 'cause
lively
it's
a
up
long,
there.
long time ago. Large flower carriages used to parade through the city. As they headed towards Port
Look
Ormuz,
like the Putty
people would
Sarah.
throw flowers, candy, and liquor
He
all
actually
along the way.
thinks for me.
Dunyarzad's eyes are sparkling right now.
Well, she likes Lesser Lord Kusanali, apparently.
I wish I could have seen that spectacle. But if you ask me, I'm sure Nilu's Dance of Sub-Zeros will be just as impressive.
I want to collect these as well. Sorry, I'm stealing your weapons and ore. I hope you don't mind. Are you studying him? Wait a minute. Never thought that ironworking would be so much more interesting than writing essays. Okay, well, I guess he's changing his profession. And you are? I'm a researcher from the Academia Amatura Biology. I came to the blacksmiths because I'm being I'm doing some research for a paper I'm writing on air pollution. Anyway, I never imagined that I would develop such an interest in ironworking after looking at it. And I unwittingly became Mr. I'm not even gonna try to say his name. Apprentice. So you're his apprentice now? You look like you're just watching, not helping him. It seems a little too late to back out now. He adopted a lot of kids, but they all either became researchers or joined the Eremites. Yeah, you're kind of doing that in reverse. You are a researcher and you're becoming a blacksmith assistant, I guess? So I like your ponytail. And yet somehow a researcher like me who worries over their dissertation all day has now become the only heir to his craft. Still, I'm telling you, ironworking is a heck of a lot more fun than writing papers. Not only has my stamina improved, my hair even stopped falling out. Your hair was Yeah, that actually makes sense. What do you plan to do next? Well, at the moment, I'm simultaneously keeping the serious air pollution problem at the blacksmiths from the academia while prolonging my internship here with him. Aw, he looks quite pleased to have an apprentice. I can get by well enough on my wages, so I guess I'll just take it one step at a time for now. Well, I guess a researcher is becoming a blacksmith then. Never thought I'd see the day. What about the thesis? Oh, please. Now take this as hush money. He's giving me hush money. Please stop asking me about the thesis. I get a headache just hearing it. So were you dropping out of the academia? Oh, I got 10 white iron chunks. Nice. Right, we were following Dunyarzad. Why do you look like Xiangling, actually? This little kid. This little kid with the blue hair. Looks a lot like Xiangling. I don't know.
Attention! Soldiers, fall into formation if you want any Yalda candies.
Oh my god, they really did. They really want those Yalda candies. I'm not sure if I want something called a Yalda candy.
It's Dunyarzad!
You all know Dunyarzad?
Miss Dunyarzad, the children love you even more than the Yalda candies.
Do they though?
In the few short days it took to prepare for the Sub-Zeros
What are
festival,
those things?
the children have all grown very fond of you.
The Hallowed Night of Flowers. It's an honor that you know my name.
He was mentioned by one kid before. Aw, she bounced him. That's so cute.
Attention! In the name of Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, I commend you on your contributions to
I
the
like your
glorious
mustache,
Sub-Zeros
though.
Festival.
Your mustache and your little hair twiddly
All right,
thingy.
little soldiers, take your Yalda candies and don't forget your loyalty to Lesser Lord Kusanali. Dismissed.
That's adorable.
Night Ferris!
That's adorable. Clearly, kids getting candy.
Ferris, the Night of Flowers, is another Sabzeruz festival icon, and one immensely
Clearly.
popular with children. In the past, the actor portraying Ferris would also sit on a flower carriage.
It's all thanks to Miss Dunyarzad's sponsorship that the children can make such wonderful memories today.
Aww.
As are we to you, Vihar.
Oh, not at all. Oh, speaking of tradition, do you want some Yalda
Oh,
candies?
one of the
They're a
girls
festival
stayed
staple,
behind.
And I happen to have some boxes readied here. Take a look and pick whichever one you want.
Ooh.
Whichever one. Don't these boxes all look the same?
Yeah, they do.
That is the fun part. Each box contains a random flavor. It's up to the luck of the draw. Flavors include lavender melon, hara fruit, sunsetia,
Ooh, those all sound pretty good.
What's the
and
twist?
there's also lizard tail and oni kabuto.
Saw that coming.
Huh? What's up with those two flavors?
Okay, why is it like the
Kabuto
little...
is a little spicier than Lizard Tail.
Dunyarzad?
I forgot what they're called.
You tried them before? Traveler, help Paimon pick one. Paimon wants the Sunsetia flavor.
I forgot what they're called, but it's like a candy in real life where if you pick a little bean and eat it, it's either gonna be like, it's either gonna be like a lemon flavor or a really disgusting flavor, something like that. You never know. Don't blame me if I choose the wrong one. I'm probably gonna choose the wrong one. I don't remember which was
I
the
also
right one.
believe in your intuition.
Great. These boxes of candy are numbered 1 to 5 from left to right. Which one do you want?
Now, I think it was 4? I'm going with 4. Was it?
Excellent work.
Nice!
That is indeed Sunsetia.
That is the one I remember.
Paimon bet you survived so many epic battles because you had incredible luck, and Paimon was right.
Yeah, do I get an
Attention.
achievement for that?
Here's your Sunsetia flavored
I
candy.
want an achievement for that.
Thanks a lot, Knight of Candies.
They only have
It's
4?
Night of Flowers, not Night of Candies.
Same thing, really.
Paimon really wilted the carriage.
Oh my god, that little girl is just staring at the candy.
We got our candy, so let's keep going.
Oh, actually, I just remembered that I left something behind. Since you're here, can you come with me to get it?
Is Adia just... Sure, is Dia just in the shadows watching you then?
Dunyarzad, you probably forgot because you're so excited about the Sabzeruz festival.
Or because she has Elazar?
How embarrassing.
Do you have Elazar? I'm pinning my guess that it is Elazar. What the heck? What is this? Mine 10. Oh. Technically, I didn't mine 10 items, but I got 10 ores. Yeah, that makes sense. Where did she go? Up here? At the place she was staying? Strange.
We're
Oh.
too late. Who knew the little lady was such an early riser?
Uh-oh.
I know, right? Hey, wait a minute. Pause. Isn't that her?
I get everyone in this game is pale, but why are you guys so pale?
Oh, that most certainly is.
It's a little
We're
weird.
in luck. She's walking right into our clutches.
Uh-huh.
Those Eremites don't look like they're up to any good.
Who are you? I don't believe the Homayanis hired you.
Probably not. They're probably gonna
That's right.
try to kidnap you
we
for
haven't
ransom.
received any of their mora, but I wonder how much the Homayanis would shell out to get you back.
Yep.
They're a gang of kidnappers.
This
Traveler,
literally
protect
always
Dunyarzad.
happens to a rich girl. They get kidnapped, they're gonna want ransom for her. Alright. We'll be fine.
Hey, did you scumbags even consider that the Homayanis might have hired a merc that outclasses you?
Ooh, Dee's mad!
Dia! Dia the Flame Maiden.
I forgot she was called that actually.
Wonder we mercs haven't heard anything about you for
Can
so
I play as you, Dia?
long.
Please,
You
please,
sold your
please,
unruly
please.
mane to the highest bidder.
Don't speak so disrespectfully.
Made to the
My
highest
family
bidder?
started working with her as gratitude for her past kindness to us.
Don't worry about it, my
Dia,
lady.
what is your
Just some friendly
backstory? I
banter
know
between mercs. One punch and those rabid dogs will expose
you have a
themselves for
story
what they
quest,
really
but
are.
what is your backstory?
Aren't your claws all dull by now? Don't get too cocky.
Is she represented as a cat or a lion? I feel like a lion would be more
Traveler,
suiting for
take
her.
Miss Dunyarzad to a safe location.
I mean, she has the cat ears, but that's just her hair. She's not like actually a cat. Her hair is just styled like that. Sort of like catching. Well, if we do stay, we're only gonna endanger Dunyarzad, and if we let Dunyarzad leave on her own, then she could be in more danger by an ambush.
You're right. Alright, fine.
Please be careful, Dia.
Don't waste your time worrying about me. This is my job. Look out for yourself. After I've wiped the floor with them, I'll go find you all.
Oh, heck yeah, Dia! Girl boss. Oh. I didn't realize there was an actual time limit. I mean, I don't have to go far, but... Oh, I gotta do 50 seconds just to reach it here. Uh-oh. We killed her.
Are you okay? You look a little pale. Are you in shock?
Everyone is pale.
Yeah, I'm fine. My body always reacts like this whenever I exert myself too much.
No, Dunyarzad.
Are you okay?
Should we not have run?
I'll be fine after some rest. I'm more worried about Dia. After all, none of this would have happened if I hadn't insisted on coming out today.
She's protecting you because she agrees with you, though.
Yeah, don't worry.
And you're her friend. Why is the camera panning to the right? That was weird. I mean,
my lady,
isn't there
traveler,
benches down there?
found ya.
You're alive!
You took care of them so fast.
Man, I wanted to play
Any more
as
of
you.
them? Or rather, did anyone follow you?
Probably not.
Dia, your arm.
Is her arm more
this?
injured than before?
I'm fine. It's just
Oh,
a
it
scratch.
is.
Normally, they wouldn't have been able to land a hit on me at all, but I'm still getting used to this new greatsword.
New greatsword?
Please,
Why do you have a
let
new
me
one?
take a closer look.
Come on,
it better?
it's nothing. Us mercs aren't as fragile as you think.
Aw, Dia.
Hold on, you said something about a new greatsword. What happened to the one you were using before?
That's what I was saying.
About that. Well, I sold it because I was
No,
low on more. Stuff like this happens every now and then.
Why is that so sad?
It can't be.
Why does it have to be
The
sad?
anonymous donation that was used for the venue's final round of preparations?
No, Dia, you didn't. Oh.
Hey, Miss Dunyarzad, I wasn't trying to make you cry, and
Why does it look
I'm
like
not gonna lose
Dunyarzad
my
is
commission
bald from
because
here?
I made my employer cry, am I?
Okay, making her
Oh,
employer
that
feel
is so
with your
cute.
permission,
I love
but
their friendship.
selling her weapon without permission and getting hurt? I'll have to reevaluate your performance.
You're so unreasonable, my lady.
So basically, what was
Thank you
just
very much,
explained, Dia sold her great sword,
Don't be like
donated
that.
the money, and
Get
then
embarrassed really
bought a
easily.
new great sword. Dunyarzad, no!
Are you feeling unwell again, Dunyarzad?
My lady,
She's
your
genuinely
condition.
worried.
Traveler, can you take her somewhere to rest?
Yeah, there's
I'll
a
look
bench
around
not
the
far
area to
from
make
here.
sure
I
we're
was
safe from
saying
an
that.
ambush.
Sure.
Truly, I'm sorry for the trouble, everyone.
No, Dunyarzad. See, I like Dunyarzad as much as I like Kale. A lot. Because they're both genuinely nice characters. It's adorable.
Are you feeling better, Dunyarzad?
I mean, it doesn't look like it,
Yes.
but...
Much better. Just give me a few moments and I'll be good to go.
serious is your illness? Are those one of the withering things, or is that from... What is that from? I don't know.
I didn't realize you were concerned about it.
You didn't realize
guess I
I was
shouldn't
concerned
continue to
about it.
keep
I've
this
been
secret.
asking if you're all right for the
I was
past
actually
10 minutes.
Born with Elazar. He's terminal now.
No! The scales! Why does that have to be so sad? I genuinely don't remember what happens to Dunyarzad. No!
Can't believe it's Elazar.
Why did her eyes twitch like that?
You've already heard of Elazar. In that case, you probably know about its severity.
Oh, that's why she had
Samira's
bandages on her
current
wrist to
medical
hide the
advancements
scales.
Still haven't been able to find a cure. The disease's progression can only be delayed through environmental therapy.
Aw,
Dunyarzad.
so that's like
There's no need to be sad.
cancer in real
I've
life. That is
always
so
lived with
sad.
Elazar, and I came to terms with it a long time ago. Compared to the simple fact that I'm afflicted with this, its effects on my life have been much more painful. I know that my family loves me dearly. They've done all they can to provide the best environment for me,
Oh,
so that I
that
can
is
live
so
for that much
sad.
longer.
See,
However, I know
I think I know
will
what
one day succumb
Elazar
to
is
this.
actually from, though I'm not 100% certain. Though I think it might be revealed later. Maybe not in the Archon quest, just in a bunch of the other side quests. Though I don't know.
Did you know? Before I ran away from home this time, the world outside of my home didn't even know that I existed.
What?
Since I was a child, all I could do was
Didn't you say
sit on my bed
environmental
and stare at
therapy
everything
helped the
outside of my
Elazar?
window.
Or at
I'm
least
sure
slow
my
it?
family's worried and disappointed in me for running away, but I just didn't want to have any regrets.
Well, if you're gonna die, then
wanted
you
to
should
meet other
still live
people.
life to the
To me,
fullest. I
there's
mean,
nothing more beautiful than being able to meet and speak with others. Not to mention the incredible time spent preparing for the festival. The joy on everyone's faces here, and all the support I've received from friends like Dia.
Aw.
This way, when my final day does arrive, it will be less sorrowful.
But now I
At the
met you,
very
so
least,
it's gonna
many
be
people
really
will remember that
sad.
I once existed in this world, right?
Yeah, I'll remember you.
As long as you don't forget Paimon.
'Cause I'm not gonna forget Tepe either, and Tepe actually died. I don't know
No.
if... I don't remember if
Paimon,
Dunyarzad
remember
dies.
you.
Thank you two so much. I apologize.
That
for the
might actually
depressing
be from the
conversation.
Withering.
This
The
is-
little
This is
pillar
out of
thing.
character for me. To be honest, Lesser Lord Kusanali gave me the courage to do all of this. If it weren't for her encouragement, I wouldn't have taken that first step.
She's a nice Archon. Yeah, you are really strong, actually.
Thanks. There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regrets.
That is so wise. That's so sad, too. Man. I remember this being sad now. Right.
Oh, right. Isn't it almost time?
Time for what?
Almost time for what?
Isn't the dance of Sub-Zeros about to begin?
Oh!
It's the part of the festival that I've been looking forward to the most.
I hope Dia got
Mia
rid
will
of the
recreate
Eremites.
that legendary scene with her most splendid dancing. And the Sub-Zeros festival will conclude amid everyone's applause and blessings. And with that, my wish will also...
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go to the stage.
Yeah, we should still make it in time.
Hopefully. Is there, like, actual time here? Or do you just, like, look at the sun like, hey, it's, I don't know, 6 o'clock, or something like that? I feel like there would be actual clocks. Okay, so down here is the Grand Bazaar. That's what I was thinking. Where's the stage? There's the stage. Oh, yeah, I
Were
remember
you not aware that
this.
the law prohibits this type of performance from taking place without prior permission?
Yeah. You might see this guy a few times, I think. Let me see his name. What is
Over
his
there!
name?
Someone's yelling at Nilu!
And just when Junior Zod wanted to see the dance, Sages, she's dying. This is one of her last wish.
I think I just
Wishes,
saw the
blah.
Academia's Grand Sage. Why is he here in person?
Okay, so it is the Grand Sage. Yeah. Yeah, now I remember. You're going to be seeing the Grand Sage a lot.
But the Dance of Sub-Zeros is one of the key parts of the Sub-Zeros Festival. If we can't perform it,
The Sub-Zeros Festival. The law also prohibits the private hosting of large-scale religious festivals. Only the
Why?
Academia can host such an event.
Okay, why does a school alone just have to host an event? You can't have fun? You can't celebrate your god's birthday? That's messed up. Also, I do like those things on her head, but I don't like her specifically.
If you continue to resist, we will have to order an investigation into every single event
Investigation?
organizer.
They're
The Grand
partying
Sage
for
has
the
already granted
god.
you much leniency. I advise that you exercise tact.
how
Oh, I'm gonna exercise tact by
turned out
punching
like
your
this?
face.
The Academia was originally responsible for the Sub-Zeros Festival, but they failed this responsibility for many years. I need to speak with them.
I guess it is true that we force their hand too much, the situation may get ugly. Yeah. They do have the final say.
This is a hard pill to swallow, but
Much as I hate
you're
it.
right. Things would only get worse.
Art, dance. Aren't you ashamed of pursuing such frivolous and meaningless
course
activities
you
in this
would
land
say
of
that.
knowledge and reason?
Grand Sages are.
Our Archon created the utopia that is Sumeru City for all scholars who sought validity,
Rukadavada
verity, and truth,
created that,
while
not
people
your
like you
Archon.
wish to defile it.
Kusanali is your Archon. God! Rukadavada died 500 years ago. They can't get over her? God dang.
no. I believe that our Archon never rejected the arts. Even the Goddess of Flowers dedicated a dance to her.
So, the Goddess of Flowers is different from Rukadavada. I'm so confused. So, there was the Scarlet King, the Goddess of Flowers, and Rukadavada. Okay. But they said that the Scarlet King died thousands of years ago. I'm so confused by the timeline and things. And of course she never rejected the arts. She's literally the one that created the Patisara.
With your lack of intellectual credentials, I do not believe you are qualified to debate
So
with
she
me.
needs to
What
have
you should
a
be doing is finding
diploma to
workers to tear
dance?
down this ridiculous eyesore.
It's not an eyesore, it's under the tree. You can't even
When
see
we
it.
return, have the scribe draft an ordinance before the next Nyargarbaha Day that prohibits public art
Your
performances.
Garbaha Day?
We will announce it to the public later via the Akasha.
Understood.
What is
I will
that?
inform him when I return.
Definitely not as fun as the Sub-Zero's festival. Don't look at her like
the
that.
Sub-Zero's Festival. Go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content.
Nilu, are you okay?
So they're letting her celebrate, but they're not
Junior
letting her
Zod.
dance.
You all
Those
saw
are
that
messed
just
up.
now? The Grand Sage ordered us to stop the performance.
Yeah, I kind of saw
Yeah.
that.
Let's go somewhere the Academia can't find us and perform there. But how do we let everyone know?
Yeah, outside of Sumeru City.
What about the atmosphere on the stage?
Then you should be fine.
Or we could get people to block them off so they can't interrupt the performance.
But then people wouldn't be able to watch the dance.
No. They just threatened to investigate the organizers. If we were caught.
Nilu, it's all right.
It shouldn't be
Don't
illegal
worry
to
about it.
dance for your
But you've been
god.
looking forward to the Dance of Sub-Zero so much. And I know how important this festival is to you.
Aw.
I don't want you to have any regrets.
It's okay. Seeing you care this much about my feelings is more than enough.
Okay, but how much time does
It would be
Unizad
too
have
risky
left?
to continue the Sub-Zeros Festival at this point.
If you say so.
Oops.
But You can sneak out for the next Sub-Zero's festival, right? We'll make sure the next one is a smashing success.
Dang it. I skipped something. I don't know what it was.
The next one.
Junior's
Yes. Okay, it's a promise. It
Wait,
will be a
Junior's
smashing
did you
success.
tell her that you were dying? Oh, I don't know if she
I can't believe this
knows.
is how things turned out. Those heartless geezers.
Obviously, Dia knows. What else can we do?
It really is okay. There's nothing we can do about it.
No!
Still, I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Oh man, that's depressing. The Sub-Zeros was forced to come to an abrupt end.
A lot happened today. It's
Now,
a
I
shame
think
the
this is where you
festival
actually have to pay
ended.
attention.
Nilou and Dunyarzad promised to make the next Sub-Zero's festival a success. But Dunyarzad is running out of time.
No, that is so sad. I would say this regret could be resolved. It could be resolved. They just have to dance somewhere else. She probably knows that.
Yeah.
Pay attention to that.
All connections have been secured.
And
to
this.
construct the most stable framework possible. The project has entered its most critical phase. Power has begun to flow from...
See, I'm still a little confused on how the Traveler hears this, though. Because I know what it is, but I don't know how she can hear it alone. Maybe not alone, but...
We're gonna be late! It's all because you wouldn't get out of bed!
Late for what?
We should go meet Dunyarzad right away!
Okay. Do I have any Primogems? I have 90, but I can't wish with them. Dang it. God, I have so many quests to do. Just to do this? Because I think to do this, that would start the event quest, and I want to do the event quest. I really do. But then there's also the quick start, and I've never done quick starts before, just because I don't know if it skips something important. And just in case, I don't want to risk him. But I have to do the main Sumeru Archon quest, Eula's story quest, and to do Eula's story quest, I need to do Cleese, which Cleese isn't that long since it was put at the beginning of the game. Eula's is longer, though it should take less than a stream, I think. And then it also says I have to do Kokomi's story quest. Because that's the warrior's dream, like Springgrass Renewing, I think. Even though I did Kokomi's story quest. I really hope that stops glitching out like that when I finish this quest, Cleese, and Eula's. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to research that a little bit. Wait, it's down. Dunyarzad? Oh, you are over here. Hi, why are we over here?
Good morning, Dunyarzad. Sorry we're late.
Not at all. I arrived early.
You sound more
You seem kinda tired. Did you not get enough
monotone
sleep?
than I remember,
I'm
actually.
doing well. There's no need to worry.
She
Shall
does
we
sound
go?
more monotone.
Let's
Yeah,
start with the
Lumia
stalls over
notices
there.
that.
Sure. Traveler? Why are you just standing there?
Yeah,
Let's
she
get going.
knows. She knows. And Dunyarzad's not talking happily here. Yeah,
Ooh, they're selling food
something
over that way.
has
Let's go take a look.
changed. And you will eventually know what that is. I already know what it is, but it has something to do with that beep and that voice. Though I'm actually curious because I don't remember some of the quests, though I know we go to the desert, though I don't remember why. You're not talking.
This is
It's
a stall offering
Oh.
foods from the Haftmewa feast.
You are quite well informed, miss. I thought most people nowadays wouldn't know.
They're all plants. Oh, Paimon's a little disappointed. Actually, what is the Haftmewa feast you
We
mentioned
saw
just now?
this yesterday,
It's one of
Paimon.
the Sub-Zerus Festival's traditions. People used to set their tables with 7 different foods to symbolize the 7 virtues of the Dendro Archon.
Yeah, Lumi knows that something is off. Something feels really familiar. You literally did this yesterday.
Appear to be in the form of the moon.
Oh, we're here.
Really? Paimon thought it looked like some kind of food.
And only Lumine knows. Okay. Why is
The
it
moon
only hers?
signifies-
Oh, wait, I think I know.
It's escaping me for now.
Why it's only hers.
Wait a moment.
Is he really looking it up in a book?
Oh,
Illusion
right.
and
It
lies.
means illusions and lies.
Yeah. Pay attention.
But if you trust your intuition and overcome your fears, the sun will surely rise.
Is this deja vu?
Understood. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, you're just gonna ignore me.
Oh, it's nothing. I'm just learning as I go.
He literally
Guess
said that
was
exact
still
same
pretty
thing.
Interesting. Okay, on to the next stall.
Yeah, now the candy stall actually is the most creepy in my opinion. Dunyarzad's not even talking. That is so creepy! Dunyarzad, I like when you talk. You're a good character, Dunyarzad. Please, talk to me! Hey, Ferris, the Knight of Flowers. And Xiangling. And other kids.
All right, soldiers. Now that you have your Yalda candies, don't forget your loyalty to Lesser Lord Kusanagi.
He said the same thing.
Dismissed.
Yes, Knight Ferris!
She is still gonna stay here. That's creepy.
Is this a play?
Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, is another Sub-Zerus Festival icon and one immensely popular with children.
So monotone and
It's all thanks to Miss
Well,
Dunyarzad's
monotone.
sponsorship that the children can meet the Knight of Flowers. Oh, do you want some Yalda candies? I happen to have some boxes readied here. Take a look and pick whichever one you want.
okay, but which?
What's to pick? Don't these boxes all look the same?
It's not that simple. Each box contains a random flavor. It's up to the luck of the draw. Flavors include lavender melon, hara fruit, sunsetia,
I've heard that you can eat lavender melon if you
Ooh, how
cook it.
interesting.
and there's also lizard tail and oni kabuto.
Ew.
Ugh, why do those flavors even exist?
Paimon, you cook slime.
Traveler, help Paimon pick one. Paimon wants to eat the sensation.
These Yalda candies get
Right.
really
These
creepy.
boxes of candy are numbered 1 to 5 from left to right.
Ah.
Which one do you want?
Okay, so they haven't gotten creepy yet. But it does get really creepy. 4. Give me that one.
Excellently chosen. Number 4 is indeed Sunsetia.
Nice.
Paimon bet you had incredible luck, and Paimon was right.
That just now, I don't think that was luck. Paimon doesn't know, though. Lumine, you know, because you're the only one that can know, technically speaking. I don't know why, but I knew it must have been number 4.
Huh? How's that possible? It's obviously random.
Why do I have this strange sense of deja vu?
Maybe we didn't sleep very well last night. Or maybe we slept too much.
I mean, you did oversleep, but... I'm sorry, Dunyarzad, but I need to leave for a moment.
Oh, sure.
She doesn't even care!
Where are you going? You're just gonna walk off like that?
go to the Arabites, the flavor of deja vu. Lambett's Tavern. Why the tavern? Well, there's a spindly thingy. Why the tavern?
A feeling of deja vu.
Oh, to discuss it with
Oh,
Paimon.
Paimon
We
knows
didn't
what
need to
that
go to the
is.
tavern, though.
It's when you feel like you've already experienced whatever is going on.
She has experienced it, though.
In that case, Paimon also felt something like that today. But that's just our brains playing tricks on us, isn't it?
Nope.
So, why'd you run here in such a hurry?
I want to do something I normally never would.
So that's it. You're intentionally
That makes sense,
doing
actually.
things you usually wouldn't, and seeing if you still get that same feeling of deja vu.
Welcome, you two.
Did
Are
you?
here
I
for
don't
lunch?
think she
What would you like
did.
to eat?
One charcoal baked cake, please. I don't know how
Got
to
it.
say that.
You don't look like you're from these parts, but I gotta say, you've got good taste. I'll give this order to the kitchen.
It'd be really good if it tasted like chocolate.
Baked Angelina cake?
That kind of rhymes.
That burned thing that didn't look tasty at all?
It doesn't look tasty,
Paimon
but you never
understands what
know.
you're trying to do now. You'd never normally order something like this.
I'm still a little confused, but eh. Okay, I love the transitions though. That's actually really cool.
Thing? Are you really gonna eat it?
Why is half already gone?
Isn't this going a bit too far?
She nods. It's like she's gonna die from this meal or something. Here goes. Yeah, I'm just gonna eat without Dunyarzad.
How was it? The look on your face is telling Paimon that it tasted awful.
Did it taste good?
Then, you mean...
She's eaten this before. Wait a minute, what? We didn't go to... We didn't go... What?
That's impossible.
She ate the whole thing!
About how gross it looked. So, would this be a case of taste bud deja vu?
Okay, so she couldn't get rid of it after all. I mean, this is actually really creepy because I have dreams sometimes where it's like a deja vu dream. It'll just be something simple I'll dream about. Then like maybe a month later I'll get this random sense of deja vu and immediately remember that insignificant dream. It's super creepy.
Paimon also gets the impression that we've been here many times, even though we aren't regulars.
Yeah.
How about we go out
I
again
mean, we
and try something else?
went here once, but we'd never tried the cake. I wonder if it actually tastes like cake. I'm actually a little confused by that, but they went in front of the tavern, but not inside of it, at least yesterday. Birdie! Oh, it's night.
Hey, Dunyarzad is sitting by yourself.
Oh,
on
I
the
know what
bench
that
over
is.
there.
Hi, Dunyarzad. You look lost in space. That's a little creepy.
What a coincidence, Dunyarzad. We meet again. Why are you sitting here all by yourself?
Oh, I ran into some kidnappers just now, but thankfully Dia came to
Yeah.
my rescue.
Wait,
I
so
started to feel
can
unwell after
Paimon
that,
actually
so I
sense the
sat down
deja
here.
vu then?
Kidnappers? Oh my goodness, are you hurt?
I'm okay. Dia's arm got scratched, but it isn't serious.
What arm got scratched?
That's a big relief.
Did it happen to be your left
But-
arm?
Dunyarzad, you seem a little down today. It's the Sub-Zero's festival, and you've been looking forward to it so much.
Yeah, she's a lot
Not
of
at all.
very
I've always
monotone.
been like this. Excessive physical exertion or
You've
strong emotions tend to
Always
aggravate my
been like
illness.
this? But
Besides, no matter how amazing the day may
maybe
be,
so, but you've
it's but a
still
single
expressed
day.
yourself.
After however many more days, my time will come to an end.
That's not what she said before.
Paimon doesn't quite follow you, and Paimon feels like something's really got you down right now.
Yeah, no kidding. Sorry for leaving you behind. That probably took a while.
It really is fine. I don't mind.
Yeah, have you noticed something out of the ordinary, like a sense of deja vu or not?
Huh? Did something happen?
Ah, so you don't
Dunyarzad,
know.
have you ever felt deja vu? You know, like when you've already experienced something that's happening right now?
Deja vu? No. But my days have been the same for years now. Even if I were feeling deja vu, I suppose I would already be used to it.
What?
Oh, Paimon sees. Then, is it only the two of us?
It's almost time.
Huh? Time for what?
Dance! Are the sages gonna be there, though?
Nilu's Dance of Sub-Zeros is about to begin. Let's go.
Okay, it's really creepy that she's talking so monotone. Thank you for teleporting me. I do like that they actually teleported us. And then she wakes up to remember that, but they
With your
weren't
lack of
standing like
intellectual
that.
credentials, I do not believe you are qualified to debate with me. What you should be doing is
He
finding
did say the
workers
same
to tear
things, though.
down this ridiculous eyesore. When we return, have the scribe draft an ordinance before the next Nyagarbha Day that
Is
prohibits
the
public art
Garbaha
performances.
Day
We
like
will publicly
Greater
announce
Lord
it later through
Rukadavada's
the
birthday?
Akasha.
Understood. I will inform him when I return.
The Sub-Zero's festival. Go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I know what that means. I completely forgot about that. Oh, yeah, I know. Though, how did they manage that? That's what I'm wondering.
Nilu, are you okay?
Oh, Dunyarzad. The Grand Sage ordered us to stop the performance.
Yeah,
It's
I saw
okay.
that.
There's nothing we can do about it.
But you've been really looking forward to this. I don't want you to have any regrets.
Are you
It
sounding
truly
monotone
is
too?
unfortunate, but I don't want to cause trouble for anyone. Didn't the Grand Sage say that he might investigate the organizers?
True, but... well, okay. I'll just have to try again next year.
The next festival. I probably won't be around by then.
Is that something new?
What did you just say?
Oh, that is something
No,
new.
Nothing. I'll be heading
Maybe.
back to rest. Thank you for your help, everyone.
Paimon can't believe what those heartless geezers did!
Yeah, I don't think Nilo actually knows that Dunyarzad is dying. I think only Dia, the Traveler, and Paimon know. And obviously her parents. For some reason I felt like this outcome was inevitable. Yeah, it's deja vu. You've literally done this before.
Did Dunyarzad already go back?
Clearly, she
should
left
also
quickly.
return and get some sleep.
She said she couldn't go that quick, but here she is going quick. Sub-Zero's was forced to come to an unfortunately abrupt end, as it said before.
So, in the end, you still couldn't figure out what that deja vu feeling was all about? Maybe it really was because of exhaustion.
I haven't thought about it, but my head does feel very heavy. Okay.
Same here. That's why Paimon stopped thinking about it halfway through the day.
Strange.
Then, how about we settle in and get a good night's sleep? For
Okay,
now,
that's really
don't
creepy.
chalk things up to exhaustion. We could do more thinking tomorrow.
Wait a second. Was that just me noticing that? No. Okay. So everything flickered like black and white for a minute there. That was really creepy. Why is there a squirrel there? The beep?
Observing a modest drop in the output of jnana energy, but
No.
values still remain within normal parameters.
Continue to monitor for variances in the data.
I'm trying to see if I can recognize the voices, but I think the only voice I can recognize is Czar. Oh, I saw the flickering again!
Tired after so much sleep. Anyway, we should go meet Dunyarzad right away.
Why is it in this view? That was weird. She actually has an idle animation of stretching. Okay. It said the coming of Sub-Zera's festival, then the arrival of Sub-Zera's festival, then the continuation of the Sub-Zera's festival. That's creepy. Dunyarzad not even gonna be there. Okay. Oh, she is there. Is she gonna talk more monotone than she was before?
Good morning, Dunyarzad. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Paimon, do you have a
Not
sense
at
of
all.
deja vu?
I arrived early.
You are talking more monotonely. That's creepy.
Huh? Paimon thinks you sound kinda tired. Did you not get enough sleep?
Paimon, you said the same thing!
I'm doing well. There's no need to worry. Shall we go? Let's start with the stalls over there.
Great idea. Let's get going. Traveler? Hey.
Yeah, now she's realizing that this isn't just a sense of deja vu. This feels all too familiar. With the 7 vegetables, the
Thanks
candies.
to Miss Dunyarzad's sponsorship that the children can enjoy the
Creepy
Sub-Zera's
thing.
festival.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get creepy, I think.
Oh, are you interested in Yalda candies? I have some boxes of candy here.
Don't
Pick
mind
whichever one you want.
Lumine looking so mad. She's concentrated.
Not much of a choice. All these boxes look the same.
They have different colors.
It's not that simple. Each box contains a random flavor. It's up to the luck of the draw.
Unless Paimon is somehow
Flavors include
colorblind and they all
lavender
look
melon,
white.
Hara fruit, sunsetia,
They all sound pretty tasty.
and there's also lizard
Lizard
tail
tail
and
and
oni
onikabuto.
kabuto.
Yep.
What were those last two?
Paimon, deja vu.
She'll help me choose. Paimon wants to eat the Sunsetia flavor.
No problem. These boxes
Yeah,
of candy
this is
are
where it
numbered
gets
1
creepy.
to 5 from left
Okay,
to right.
these
Which one do you want?
boxes have all that stuff, but I saw 2 boxes that had random stuff in it. Whatever. As you can see, this is where it starts to get creepy.
Oh, I like your confidence. No hesitation at all.
Yeah, seriously. Normally there's a
Congratulations.
second option, but
Number
there
4
wasn't a
is
second
indeed
option.
Sunsetia.
I didn't even choose those ones.
Paimon knew she always had incredible luck.
Number 1 is lizard tail, number 2 is hara fruit, number 3 is lavender melon, number 5 is oni kabuto. Well, don't say that out loud. You're gonna make it seem like we cheated.
Paimon's not really interested in the other flavors.
Ah,
Clearly.
wait. How did you know? Don't tell me that you already knew which flavor was in each box.
I mean, yeah?
She was right about all of them?
That couldn't have been luck. How is this possible? I packed all those boxes this morning and they've been sealed ever since. You couldn't have known beforehand.
Unless something is
Mind
repeating.
X-ray vision? Or some kind of magic trick? This is way too freaky.
Or just a random guess.
Since when did you get superpowers?
Since when did she get superpowers? She wields the elements without a vision. Whoa, what was that? Wait, who was that? What was that? Wait, where's Dunyarzad, by the way? Oh! Okay, so... I watched it again. Yeah, we saw a short little character with, white hair similar to Paimon. Yeah, we'll be seeing more of her. See, I actually like that she appeared just so Lumine could seal and then see it and then instantly disappeared, letting Lumine know that she knows. It's really cool. Just now, that was...
Hey, where are you going?
Follow the familiar figure?
Us leaving Dunyarzad without
Wait,
letting
have
her
we
know is
seen
kinda
her
rude,
before
you know.
already? Wait, I'm really confused. Did we see her before? Other than that, just passing now? Why are we chasing after a little figure that looked like a kid? There she is! She's so cute! I love her so much, and you'll understand why in a minute. Why is she familiar to the traveler, though? Gosh, she's running far and fast for being so little. Go over here? Oh, there's a birdie in a cage.
What are you looking for? Why did we come here?
Didn't you see the person? With the white hair? Not you? Familiar figure, an overwhelming sense of deja vu. Deja vu. Oh, wait, no. I remember why it's doing this though. I remember why there was a sense of deja vu at the tavern. Because she has been there before. That'll be explained in a minute. Over there.
That's...
And the bird? The bird was... Oh, the bird! Oh my god, wait. Why is that such a big representation, though? Because there was the bird in the cage. And then the bird's door is open. The bird was set free. Okay, why is that really cool and really creepy? And this mysterious girl is familiar, and she has a sense of deja vu because she has met her before. Lumine just remembers it quicker than Paimon does. She didn't know why everything felt so familiar because she was still remembering. Hi! Nahida! Yay! I like Nahida. Oh, and the little smile. Okay, but why you gotta be so creepy sometimes, Nahida? I mean, I understand why, but why? Oh!
Look! That's... Isn't that Dunyarzad?
Nahida, are you doing that? I wouldn't be surprised if you could. She was with us just a moment ago.
What's happening here?
Was she?
Why are there two Dunyarzads? You already know that this isn't your first Sub-Zero's festival, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm sure you already know how to use this.
What is...
A knowledge capsule? Where did you get it? What's inside?
Oh, I might actually know what knowledge capsule this is. I don't know why, but divine knowledge capsule is red. Normal knowledge capsule is green. This one is golden. I wonder why. Is it connected to the traveler?
You should use it too, Paimon.
Ah!
You know Paimon?
Let's use it together.
Well, this seems kinda sketchy, but Paimon feels like this is what we should do.
Yeah, just taking a random knowledge capsule from everything.
What the?
so many days worth of memories. Oh, that's why they were so exhausted too!
This is our 20th time at the Sub-Zero's festival? Huh? No. The 30th? 40th? Just how many times have we been to the Sub-Zero's festival?
Yeah. As you might have realized, the Sub-Zero's festival for Nahida, the little girl, the Traveler and Paimon have been going in a loop over and over and over and over and over and over again. Though they haven't remembered most of it until now because that knowledge was in that knowledge capsule. I think that's the main reason why it was golden. But that's actually creepy that it was a different color, though. Anyways, they didn't remember it until now, and that explains why Dunyarzad was getting, why everyone was getting so exhausted, because, they were getting exhausted because they were going day to day to day, just doing the Sub-Zero's festival, without realizing most of it. Dunyarzad was doing the exact same thing, though her body wasn't put in a stasis similar to, like, other citizens, which makes her Elazar worse.
Have we been trapped in a single day? If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have even realized.
Huh?
What the heck was inside that knowledge capsule?
Knowledge?
Your memories are still scrambled? Try your best to remember. This isn't the first time we've met, and I answered that question a long time ago.
Yeah, this is why, this is why she also recognizes Nahida, because obviously they have met her before, just didn't remember her at first, though they did still get a sense of deja vu.
Let Paimon think.
Okay, this part of
back.
the Archon quest is
Meeting you
actually
was the
really
real
cool.
catalyst for restoring our memories, and the knowledge capsule was just your means of showing our minds the way.
Actually, there's a part coming up in the Archon quest that's actually really cool and really different from other Archon quests that gets me really hyped for the Fontaine Archon quest, because there could be new stuff there too.
What about everyone else? Why are you only helping the two of us?
Because only the two of
Your
us
sense
know.
of deja vu is stronger than everyone else's, yes? As for an explanation, you two received the blessing of Dendro. And you also have special, sensitive constitutions.
Yeah, I can
It
wield
was as
Dendro
if
without a
single
vision.
sheet of paper was separating those memories from your consciousness.
What's wrong with Dunyarzad over there? Wait, so everyone else has been feeling fatigue from... Does that mean that everyone else has been feeling fatigue from the Sub-Zero's festival, or was it just Dunyarzad and us, because Dunyarzad is still technically sick?
A familiar question. I think this is the 7th time you asked that.
7th?
As you can see, she isn't doing well.
Out of how many times we did
probably
the Sub-Zero's
sensed it too.
festival?
The Dunyarzad you were just with is different from the first Dunyarzad you met.
Okay, I'm a little confused by that.
That first Dunyarzad is in front of you right now, and she doesn't have a lot of time left.
So we need to break out of this cycle?
How?
You're almost done sorting out your brain.
Almost.
Oh yeah, I'm Nahida.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that now. You've introduced yourself before, yeah.
Good. You passed the test.
Test?
What's happening? You can awaken our memories, and you seem like you know what's going on. Oh, wait. Please don't tell Paimon even you don't know.
Paimon, pieces. Figure out who she is, why she, among literally everyone else, is appearing, why she above everyone else can remember everything. Not even the traveler can remember anything. Pieces, Paimon. The bird in the cage was set free. Lesser Lord Kusanali escaped the sanctuary of Surasthana. As you might have realized already, Nahida is Lesser Lord Kusanali. But, I'm saying that now just because it was pretty easy to figure out when I first did this quest, so I just figured.
Everything in this world runs in a loop. This cycle is called the samsara.
I forgot it was actually called something.
Me, and everyone else are all stuck inside the one-day samsara.
Wait,
As
one
for the
day?
truth, that's on you to find out. If you were told the truth instead of discovering it yourselves, it would literally blow your minds. I don't know how you'd be after that. I can only give you surface-level help, like bits of information and subtle hints.
Wait, so you can't
For the rest of
actually
the time,
tell me?
I'll be doing all I can to slow down Dunyarzad's illness.
As for the truth, that's on you to find out. If the truth were told instead of discovered it for yourselves, it would literally blow our minds. Like, literally, my mind is just gonna go kablooey? Why, though? It's really weird. Maybe that's just how time works? Because that would mess up, like, the whole time loop? Time is super strange and finicky and doesn't have laws to it. It's weird.
She looks like she isn't doing well at all. Her illness gets worse after each Sub-Zero's festival.
If we can break out of the samsara, I might be able to save her. But as
You
things
save her
are
from the
right now,
LSR?
she's just a small bird in the sky that's about to lose its last feathers. All I can do is raise a gale to delay her fall.
No.
You sure love to use weird analogies.
She is an Archon.
Analogies are wonderful tools. They let you use existing knowledge to understand unfamiliar things. Okay, so, with what you know so far, what do you think the truth is?
There's a beep. I think this is the area that it is different. It is! Okay. Obviously this is new from the other Archon quests. Again, I'm getting really excited for the, Fontaine Archon quest. When you enter a state of contemplation, you can choose any text entry to interpret it. This interpretation process involves analysis of the entry and may yield new entries. Okay, so you click on something basically, it'll either give you new entries or just gray out if there's no new entries then? Once you've interpreted, you may submit the text as a conclusion. Okay. I'm still a little confused by this. Okay. Oops, did not mean to skip that. Okay, what the next one was, some text entries can be associated with one another. Interpreted. Select associate to choose the other text entry, then select trigger association. Okay, so then it creates a new option, which would be the answer? You can gain new text entries by performing accurate associations. Okay. That's really confusing. If one of the text entries on the current page can be used as a conclusion, then that text entry... then select that entry before choosing submit conclusion. What is this? Does she actually talk?
We've already experienced
Cool!
Zeru's festival many times, and the day of the festival seems to be in a perpetual samsara.
Cool! They give Lumine's voice actor a job now. Basically, I think we're supposed to piece these together, though. I think this was the answer. Maybe.
Sage said, go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content. Did he mean something more?
Yes, the Grand Sage is behind it.
The moon, illusions, and lies. What do they all mean? What's happening right now seems to have happened before. This feeling has been getting stronger and
connect
stronger.
these two?
My mind feels exhausted, even though I haven't done too much thinking. What is going on?
Wait, can I connect them or is it just this one? Oh, then I associate it with another one. Okay, loop, Grand Sage's speech. No? Deja vu? There you go. Time loop, that's a new one, because it glows blue.
That should be it. The flow of time is endlessly cycling within one single day.
Yeah, we already came to that conclusion. Do we submit this?
A time
Yes.
loop. You've given similarly wrong answers in the past.
What?
A pity.
What do you mean?
Still the wrong answer? Paimon thought
I'm
that made a lot of
confused.
sense. It feels like time's just repeating itself.
A simple time loop can't explain some of the phenomena. You two are still missing a lot of information. Unfortunately, I can't give you any more hints.
Dang it. No, no.
Charizard.
Please.
The Sub-Zero's festival is happening every day, but that doesn't mean we can waste an infinite amount of them. Hurry and find the truth before today's festival ends.
Before today's festival ends? Huh. Okay, maybe that was actually the answer that I was supposed to do, though.
Let's think about our current situation.
There was the beep.
Dunyarzad, we have to escape.
It's
the
Grand
samsara of the
Sage's
Zero's
fault.
Festival. And to do that, we need to figure out what's happening. The truth.
Lies,
Nahida
moon,
rejected the
illusion.
idea of a time loop, so we must have missed something, right? Paimon's memories say that we've already done this many times, but let's go talk to people again. It's more productive than sitting here and scratching our heads.
I mean, I already
Why
know
don't
what to
we
do.
Start with those stall owners.
What are they gonna do? Give us more information about the Grand Sage, maybe? Can I not go in co-op because of this? Yeah, because the Sub-Zero's festival, because it's in a loop. Does that mean I can't teleport? I'll check that in a second. I forgot what I was gonna check. Oh yeah. Okay, so I can teleport to other places, but whatever. So that's really creepy. So, what are the 7 virtues of the Dendro Archon? Literally Nahida?
Hey there.
Hey, it's you guys again. Where's your cultured friend?
Yeah, she's dying.
She's feeling a little unwell.
That's an understatement.
I see. Did you come back to buy something? I guarantee the freshness of my products. I harvested them from the forest.
That
just
blueberry's as
yesterday.
big as my hand. Have you felt anything strange lately, like a sense of deja vu?
Huh? What brought this about? I hurried back from the forest yesterday, and I'm selling produce here today. I haven't felt anything strange.
Okay.
To put it another way, if you really think about it, was yesterday truly yesterday?
Yeah, it's so
Did you
confusing,
actually
Tim.
come back from the forest yesterday?
What kind of philosophical nonsense is this?
Does that mean
Are
if
you
the
two
day gets
daydreaming?
over, we would forget our memories again? Or
Didn't you know that no one dreams in Sumeru? Go somewhere else if you want to find someone to daydream with.
You don't even daydream? Daydream is literally just thinking to yourself.
He actually has a point. Is this a dream? Is everyone dreaming?
No one dreams in Sumeru, though. We've been told that before.
True. It's so
by
weird
the
that
one
people here
researcher.
Don't dream. Why is that? Anyway, if this all really were just a dream,
I
we
think
would've
I know
woken
where
up
that
a
is,
long
though I
time
don't.
ago.
I think I know, though I
Let's
don't.
keep asking around.
Okay. What about you? Do you know anything?
Oh, it's you two. Was my divination so accurate that you felt compelled to compliment me in person?
Oh yeah, it was accurate, alright. I'm not sure if it's related to your divination.
Ooh,
Oof.
I knew it! I told you, the god's divination is highly accurate. You just hadn't fully
It
understood its
is
significance yet.
actually accurate. Illusion and lies?
Really
Yeah.
excited about this, huh?
Illusion,
That's exactly
the
why we came
samsara.
back. Help us better understand it.
Help you better understand it? Well, that isn't exactly what I excel at.
So, you're admitting that you
Understanding.
don't have a clue?
Anyway,
Senator Man.
what kind of situation did you get into?
Yeah, this actually may seem insane to him, though if he doesn't remember, then he's just gonna forget in a day anyways. We're trapped in the day of the Sub-Zero's festival.
Huh? Hold on a second. I thought you guys just lost your wallet or fell for a scam.
Nope.
What you just said, are you serious? Does that kind of thing actually happen in real life?
Gods are real in real life,
you
of
weren't going to believe
course.
Marvelous. Truly marvelous.
You actually believe
I
us?
believe you. Recall the interpretation of your divination. The moon, illusions, and lies. It really felt like an omen.
When you say it like that, the divination does sound like it's related to what's going on. Can you read it?
Okay, it's not his fault,
I
but
believe that the Archon's revelations are never more than vague hints. Anything more specific is beyond the reach of mere mortals.
obviously, since
book
Nahida
only
can't give us
says,
straight
If you
answers.
trust your instincts and overcome your fears, the sun will surely rise.
So that's how it is.
Overcome
Looks
your
like fortune telling is
fears.
just fortune
What
telling.
does that
It's no
mean?
good for practical problems.
Oh,
We haven't made
practical
any
problems.
progress.
Sorry, dude.
Who else can we talk to?
The Candyman? Or Dia? Right.
Paimon remembers that we tried talking to her a couple of times, but she always thinks we're playing pranks on her. You think she'll brush us off again?
Let's try taking her to see the real Dunyarzad.
Yeah.
Will
If the
she, like,
captain
not
gives
see
strong
her,
sense of
or
responsibility
what?
As a mercenary, then she'll definitely take us seriously.
But then she's just gonna forget again.
Dia's probably just finished beating up those kidnappers. Let's go find her.
Yeah, that's not a good thing, because then it gets darker, and then we don't have a lot of time. No! Didn't I? Okay, so the time loop is going for me too, because I collected this. Hey, I ain't complaining. You will not hear me complaining. Can I get the stuff from you again? God dang it, not the bulletin board! Man, sir. Can I? Dang it. Nope. Maybe it's just like a reset or something. Quick reset. Oh, hi, Dunyarzad.
I'm fine, my lady. It's just a scratch.
You said the same thing
Over
before.
here.
Paimon, traveler, you came at just the right time. Listen, there was a dangerous
You defeated gang kidnappers.
Huh? You saw? Then why didn't you jump in earlier? If someone was protecting Miss Dunyarzad, I could have went all out. Anyway, can you do something for me?
You want the
I mean, you
traveler
got
to
injured
take
before,
Dunyarzad
and you
somewhere
went
to
all
rest
out
up while
then.
You check to see if there's still any kidnappers around. Did Paimon get that right?
How did you know what I was going to say?
Because we've done this many times
You need to
before.
say something
Follow us.
convincing.
Ooh. Okay, but what would I say to be convincing? How do you know what we're talking about?
People in Sumeru don't dream. What a strange phenomenon.
Her claymore?
Dia sold her greatsword to raise additional funds. And then she was injured because she wasn't used to her new weapon. The moon, illusions, and lies. What do they all mean? My mind feels exhausted
Maybe this
even
one.
though I haven't done too much thinking. What is going on?
That one?
Tell her, Traveler!
Was it the right one, actually? It was the only one that was directly about Dia, so I was just guessing. You got injured because you aren't used to your current greatsword.
I didn't tell anyone about that.
Yeah.
Including Miss Dunyarzad. You couldn't have known. And just now, you literally
Yeah, I also
took the
couldn't have
words
known about
right
the
out of my
candies, but I
mouth.
did.
What's going on?
Alright,
A
so
lot.
this is the situation.
Not like you're gonna believe us. Okay, so the Dunyarzad that's next to her is the Dunyarzad of...
It's kind of hard to believe what you just told me. First, let me make something clear. Most of us desert dwellers might not be the scholarly type, but we do have basic common sense.
Obviously. So just like imagine it is continuing on from days and days and days. The Dunyarzad by Nahida is the original Dunyarzad that we met on day 1 of the Sabzeruz festival. This Dunyarzad, I believe, is the Dunyarzad of day, 100, or how many times we've been through the Sabzeruz festival. I think that's how it works, though I don't know. Haven't you noticed something off about Dunyarzad? She said she was always like that, but she's not.
She's quieter than usual. Uninterested in anything and really gloomy.
Yeah, she isn't the same as before, but...
You never noticed that? She's literally hyper and smiling all the time. How have you not noticed that?
Our parents said that this is how she was like at first.
This is how she was like. I thought you had ties to her from a long time ago.
I don't quite understand what you're all talking about. I'll go rest on the bench over there.
She's more monotone!
My lady, are you angry?
Oh, she's worried if she's angry. Come with me.
All right, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt since you knew about my greatsword.
Thank you!
Let's make this a quick trip. Miss Dunyarzad isn't completely safe here.
Yes! Oh no, it's getting darker! We don't have a lot of time. Dia! You gotta come with us. Oh no, Dunyarzad is dying! We can't let another friend die, please! As sad as it sounds, only let it be Tepe, please! Though I kinda wish Tepe was alive as well. Not that we can interact with NPCs off of normal quests. I really wish we could, though. Or in the teapot. Hey, birdie.
Nahida! We brought a friend!
Do you see her?
Are you busy?
Do you see Nahida?
I thought I told you that it won't help to bring anyone here.
Yeah.
We just wanted her to see the real Dunyarzad's condition.
Yeah, Nahida knows. It'll be explained.
The real Dunyarzad? Where and who are you talking to?
Yeah. Because technically she's the Dia of the future, but also the present and the past?
Other people can't see me or Miss Dunyarzad here.
Yeah. That's actually really sad. But Nahida knew that. And that's why she said no one else could help. Wait a second. Huh? Do you notice something?
Hold on. Over there. Is that?
You can see her?
Wow. How perceptive.
You even shocked
Does she have
Nahida.
invisible antennae?
Invisible antennae.
Miss Dunyarzad, she's lying down here, isn't she?
Okay, so
How's
you
she
can't
doing?
see her, but you can sense
Her
her.
condition's really bad, and she's basically in a coma. How did you know she was here?
I can sense her aura. There are also lingering feelings of something like regret or disappointment. What happened?
A lot.
Believe us now? The Sub-Zero's festival has been repeating itself.
But I don't think Dia can help. You begin discussing the issue with Dia, who finally understands the situation.
You think the sages are behind this?
It's night!
Yeah, they've always been against us. Wouldn't surprise me if they're using the Akasha to intentionally repeat the Sub-Zero's festival.
Akasha! Yeah, there was the beeping!
You have a point. Aside from the Dendro Archon, the Academia's sages are the only ones in Sumeru who could pull off something like
Nahida obviously wouldn't do that.
There's more to the Akasha.
Do you
than we
not know that Nahida is the Dendro Archon? Nahida, can you tell us anything about the Akasha? No, you can't spill anything specific, but you can give us hints, right?
Right. Didn't you awaken
Or do you
our
even know
memories
anything?
using something that looked like a knowledge capsule? That means you must know something about the Akasha.
Okay, so they know Nahida's really smart, but they don't know that she is Kusanali? How? That's strange. Actually, if you have the Archons as playable characters and you use their bursts, their hair actually glows. Like, it's really cool. Nahida's little leaf and her hair glows, and then Venti's, the tip of Venti's hair glows, the tip of A's, the tip of Zhongli's. It's really cool.
The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation
Okay,
of
so
the
you
God
do
of
know and
Wisdom's
can tell
power.
us.
It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace.
God
and
of
it grants
Wisdom's
knowledge
power.
to
How
the
does it feel to be talking in third person, Nahida?
A gnosis could do that? No wonder the Akasha is so magical. It's being powered by the gnosis of Sumeru's Archon.
So, this Nahida you mentioned, what did she say?
She
A
said,
lot.
and Paimon quotes, the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the
She's
God
speaking
of
slowly
Wisdom's
too,
power.
like Dia
It
can't speak
compiles
English or
the
something.
wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people.
How did you remember all
Compiles
that?
the wisdom of the entire populace and grants knowledge to the people. Wait.
What's up?
I get the grants knowledge part. That's what people have always used the Akasha for. But compiling the entire populace's wisdom? How does that work?
I don't know.
Did she mean that the sages enter new knowledge into the Akasha?
It's... Can they do that? It probably, stems from Irminsul, no pun intended. Yeah, most of the information in the Akasha comes from Irminsul, so Irminsul basically, like, updates even less than a millisecond, because Irminsul is literally the whole of knowledge of Teyvat.
Oh, yeah. That sounds about right. What do you think?
Okay, so they can't... Well, Irminsul was being destroyed, I think, when we first saw that. And I'm genuinely trying to think about this because I don't remember. The Akasha is related to Irminsul. I'm gonna just keep interpreting these because I don't remember a single thing.
People in Sumeru don't dream. What a strange phenomenon.
Okay, so I think it's supposed to be this one, information on the Akasha, because the conversation now is not specifically about deja vu, kind of, technically speaking, or the people of Sumeru, or mental fatigue, maybe. But I'm still gonna listen to them because I keep forgetting.
What's happening right now seems to have happened been getting stronger and stronger.
Is she saying something different? I don't even know.
My mind feels exhausted, even though I haven't done too much thinking. What is going on?
A lot.
Okay, Nahida said, the Akasha
Nahida.
relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people.
Okay.
That doesn't sound
I'm
right.
confused. Mental fatigue? Yeah. That's what I was thinking as my second option.
The Akasha is causing our mental fatigue? Huh. Now that I think about it, my head's been feeling unusually heavy. When the desert dwellers set off on their quest for knowledge, a sage once said, knowledge always comes at a price. Compiling the entire
Everything
country's
comes at a
knowledge.
price.
You think the Akasha pulled a 180 and is extracting information from us?
Probably. But how?
Who knows? The Akasha can put knowledge into our heads, so who's to say that it can't also poke around in there?
Yeah, that
We
makes
don't know any
sense, but
specifics.
how?
What's the point of doing something like that?
Just think about it. If you could combine the
Sage's
knowledge of
total
every single
power.
person in Sumeru, then you can basically turn Sumeru City into a single massive brain.
Yeah,
This
but you're
hive
also
mind could make
killing
breakthroughs in
people.
problems that even the smartest geniuses can't crack.
An excellent deduction. And the analogy
Yes,
comparing
he can't hear
Sumeru
you.
to a massive brain? I love it.
In that case, we should take off our Akasha terminals right away. Maybe that'll solve this problem.
But don't you think Nahida would have tried that?
Yeah, I was only wearing this for show in the first place.
Really?
Didn't expect the sages to cook up such a conspiracy. Mark my words. When this is over,
So does that mean
I'm
everyone
getting
that
evidence and
isn't
exposing
wearing
this whole thing to the public?
the Akasha? I mean, I know everyone in Sumeru City is wearing the Akasha, but if someone weren't to be wearing the Akasha, like kids, what would they see? Everyone removes their Akasha terminal. What?
How does everyone feel?
You can actually remove it? Actually, I noticed something else.
Huh? What is it?
What is it? There's always a sound of a beat. Right!
Oh, that! Paimon knows what you're talking about. It's a single soft beep that sounds like it's coming from the Akasha terminal.
The sound of a beep. Could it be a prompt tone for when the Akasha is operating?
For something. I heard the same sound in Port Ormuz. Wait, did we? Maybe? I don't remember.
That's probably an important clue. We weren't using our terminals, but we heard a beep anyway.
Oh! There it is.
Traveler, did you hear that?
Everything is getting darker. Wait a minute.
I heard
no,
it too.
It's getting darker.
Our ears aren't messing with us. There was definitely a beep, but it sounded like it was coming from inside my head. We took off our Akasha terminal.
It's getting darker. No! No!
Phase runtime has exceeded its expected length. At this rate, there may be casualties.
Yeah, casualties, as in death of genocide. So they didn't expect it to run that long? So clearly they're controlling the Akasha, and the beep is like a reset.
But we cannot lose all of our progress.
But you're gonna kill innocents! Is your progress really worth killing innocents? Okay, so they do remember. Why does it spin like that, though? I get it, Genshin. You're proud of your new transitions, but... Dude, you said no! And then Dia doesn't remember.
Paimon remembers everything.
I don't think. Does she?
Good. You adapted quickly this time.
At the end of last night, or... Soon I'm confused.
We definitely took off our Akasha terminals last night.
When are we?
That beep. Why's that?
Nahida, it's just playing on a loop on your birthday. Failed at severing the connections with them?
But now we can at least confirm one thing. The Akasha definitely has something to do with whatever's trapping us in this cycle.
Clearly.
Oh, Paimon doesn't get it. Why would the Akasha go this far if all it wants is everybody's wisdom?
It's extremely difficult for lab rats in an experiment to understand why they're being treated the way they are.
Wow, you gotta refer to us as rats now?
If we're lab rats, then what are you? Nahida, you've never told us anything about yourself.
In the lab rat scenario, what would Nahida be? Okay, so we would be the lab rats in that scenario. The lab conductors, the scientists, would be the sage, the Akasha, whatever you want to go by. And then Nahida would be like a smart bunny on standby. I don't know.
I guess I'm the moon.
Illusion and lies? What?
Wasn't that the result of our divination?
It was.
Anyway, knowing who I am won't help you get closer to the truth. So you should focus on other things. Don't get distracted and miss any clues.
She literally told us who she was, though. She said she was the moon. That's obviously vague. Why is her dress twitching like that? Obviously, that's very vague. But the guy said that the divinations were originally... that divination type thing was originally created by Lesser Lord Kusanali. Yeah, she literally told us who she was.
Okay then. Dia helped us a lot yesterday.
Do we have to explain everything to her again?
If Paimon's reading the time correctly, those kidnappers should be showing up soon.
Do we get to help her? Oh, that's actually really cool. One second.
There you are. I've already taken care of those kidnappers. My lady, did you get hurt?
Just looking at something. Hold on. Something's not right. You didn't get hurt.
Dia?
You didn't sell your greatsword?
What's wrong? Why are you both gawking at me like that?
Yeah,
you
something
didn't get
different.
Hurt this time.
Huh? What do you mean this time? Why are you so surprised that I managed to get out unscathed?
Last
Those kids were
time you
amateurs.
didn't. Amateurs, huh? Your unfamiliarity usually lands you in some scratches.
Shh! How did you know about my greatsword? I haven't told
So you-
anyone about it. Please,
Because you were getting
don't tell
used to
Miss
the great
Yurazad.
sword. Throughout time, and you didn't realize it.
After all.
During your battle, did you feel anything strange?
Anything strange? You already know that I got a new greatsword.
Like a sense
If I
of
had to
deja
say
vu?
something, it's weird how such a new weapon could feel so familiar.
Okay, so that is the reason then.
It's as if I've already used it to fight a countless number of battles.
You're
You
saying that
have.
although you don't remember using it, your body feels like it does?
Are you exhausted from those battles?
That's right. Both mercenaries and warriors heavily rely on muscle memory. Only knowing the theory of battle won't get you anywhere.
Traveler, what do you think?
Could it be because well, you removed the Akasha terminals, but they're back on. Maybe that's because removing them wasn't technically removing them. It's still, like, implanted. I don't know. This has never happened before.
Yeah, Paimon's feeling really hopeful.
Oh, let me smile. Is it possible that we've already broken free? But we gotta check.
Oh, you're right! Earlier in the Samsara, something like this would have never happened.
But don't get your hopes up. I don't remember what happened. We'll know for sure at the end of the day.
I have no clue what you two are talking about, but it's still dangerous here, so...
So you want us to take Dunyarzad somewhere else to rest while I check if there are still more kidnappers around, right?
I promise we're not psychic, Dia. We've just done this a
How
million
would you know
times.
what I was gonna say? Can you read minds?
No.
Forget it. Go and do your thing.
And then the same thing happened with the sages. Okay, are we gonna check in with Nahida?
It's finally nighttime. Aside from Dia not getting injured, everything seems to have stayed the same. Listen, Nahida, we found out that Dia got out just fine today.
But
even
does
though
that
she got
help?
injured every other time she fought the kidnappers.
She literally has the Dendro
Since
symbol
Zara's
on her
been
back,
broken,
too.
Have we saved Dunyarzad?
Does it look like we saved it?
Really? Good job on all that progress. Get some good sleep tonight.
Hey, what kind of an answer is that?
Please!
Tomorrow will come. Everyone assumes this is common knowledge, but the only way you can know that for sure is if you experience tomorrow. How many todays has it been? Is it possible that today will be followed by yesterday? Does tomorrow truly exist as anything beyond a made-up concept?
You lost me.
It's even possible that this entire world is a lie, and the history of the whole world has just been one endless Sub-Zero's festival.
Okay, the fact that she says that, though, is insanely creepy, because in the Genshin lore, there are some parallels. Not gonna mention them, because I don't remember any of them. But the fact that she says the world is a lie is really creepy. Because, as I mentioned, I think in Inazuma, in the very beginning of the game, there was, at the very release, there was this event, and it was of Scaramouche, Balladeer Wanderer, whatever you want to call him. He said, the sky is a hoax, it's all a giant lie, while also looking at the moon. Now that's really creepy, because some things, Genshin, I really like stories that can pertain to real life, like you search up something and like it happened in real life, or is a rumor that it happened in real life, something like that. Genshin does that a lot, actually. Now, I believe the history of the Earth... No, wait, I was actually getting that wrong. Because, I don't know why, my mind just blanked out for a second. At first, I was thinking that, the Earth came from the moon, but it was opposite. I think when the Earth was first still forming, like, obviously nobody knows what was truly happening then, but it's just a theory that when the Earth was first forming, an asteroid collided with it, and threw out that rubble that created the moon. I was thinking it was the other way around, but the fact that she says the world is a lie is so creepy.
Okay, no more. Paimon's brain is already shut down.
Mine too.
That's why it makes no sense to waste your energy thinking about things you will learn tomorrow.
But what about Dunyarzad?
Get some good rest. You know, use the bathroom and flush your anxiety dookie away.
You were so cute.
Huh? Hold on, what did you just say?
Okay.
Did Paimon hear you correctly?
This is actually really cute because, obviously, as I've explained before, Archons are gods. Gods are Archons. I think. Gods aren't human. So, in, like, some of the voice lines of Venti, Zhongli, A, and Ahida, you could tell that they're still, like, kind of understanding the concept, or how basically humans work. mainly with A and Nahida, because they don't know how humans work. I think that was also why she said that. Either that or she was just being adorable.
Huh? People always say they feel a sense of relief when Duk. That's why I suggested you could try that.
So cute.
Is that so strange?
It's so strange and so against common sense that
It makes sense though, because she doesn't know a lot about people.
just a minute ago.
We're gonna sleep now.
Yeah. Even though it's happy and lively at the Sub-Zero's festival every day,
Literally your
it's been a
birthday
long
every
time
day.
since we've really gotten to relax. Let's go back to our room.
Beep! Not like we have much choice going back to our...
Continue the harvest. Compared to what we stand to achieve, these sacrifices are trivial.
See, I think that voice there, the voice that always talks first, I think that's Azar, the Grand Sage. Oh, I hate the Grand Sage so much. Compared to what we stand to achieve, these sacrifices are trivial. Obviously, I'm not going to explain what's going to happen to people who don't know what's going to happen. But obviously, they're doing something with this knowledge, and it actually all makes a lot of sense why they're doing this with the Akasha and, like, gaining knowledge, I think? I don't know. But no, Azar, these sacrifices are not just trivial. Oh, I want to punch your face so bad. Man. Ooh, 46! Nice!
We're still in the same day.
As expected, it's not as simple as we thought.
Nahida, you already knew last night that we didn't break out of the Samsara? Why did you tell us?
Did she even tell us?
Would there have been a point? You would have spent the night with new worries, with tomorrow still out of reach.
Aww.
In that case, you might as well rest within that brief moment of hope. An opportunity like that doesn't come by
Yeah,
accident.
you're so
We thought it
cute.
might help you clear your minds.
Paimon thought that Duke did that! Whatever. Guess you were looking out for us after all.
Yes.
Of course. In the time we've been together, you two have been everything to me.
Nahida.
Paimon's fine and everything, but maybe you're taking things a little fast.
She's not though, because she is Kusanali.
What I mean is, even though I had asked you to solve this puzzle, you two are still the only ones who can see me and sense my presence. In other words, if you weren't here,
Which
I
is
may as
why
well not exist.
Dia didn't sense your
That's why you
presence,
two
but
have
she
been everything
sensed...
to me. Get it?
Which is why Dia didn't sense your presence, but instead she sensed Dinyarzad's presence. Maybe just because she was closer to Dinyarzad? I don't know. You may as well not exist. What? That's... She said time runs in a loop. Oh my god, wait a minute. Okay, I understand what she just said because she said time runs in a loop. This'll be less confusing later. But maybe that's even in her first story quest, though I don't remember. She said time runs in a loop. The fact that she said that is really creepy because I just remembered what happened in Azuma. There was the sacred sakura tree being planted, and all of the people of Inazuma saying that it's been planted there forever. Well, we planted it, and it said that it was planted in the far past. Well, we were both in the past, present, and the future in that specific area. Time runs in a loop. Constantly being planted, it's constantly doing that. And even after that, A and Yai had talked to us, and they said Makoto wouldn't have been able to get that sacred sakura alone. She got the sacred sakura with some help, and it hinted at the name, what was the name? I want to know what it was called, because I mentioned it before. Istaroth, the god of time. It hinted at the name Istaroth. But it didn't elaborate who Istaroth was. Just like a small feature for characters to people to brush off. I actually like stories that hint at something bigger, though when you listen to it currently, you don't know what it means. When you read it later, you know what it means. But Istaroth, the god of time, had something to do with that. Clearly. Time runs in a loop. It's all really creepy. I'm not saying Nahida is Istaroth, but it is still very creepy.
Nahida's talking about confusing stuff again.
Okay, but I
Anyway,
understand
that's enough
it.
chit-chat. So, Traveler, did the new clues yesterday help you gain a new understanding of the situation?
The time loop theory is correct.
Huh? Why are you scrapping your previous theory?
Dia's fighting skills have been improving and Dinier's illness has been getting worse.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Gosh, how did we not notice that?
Oh, right.
People's physical condition should also reset.
Right, because if it was running in a time loop, then she wouldn't be so sick. And Nahida wouldn't have to keep healing her. Okay, that makes sense.
So, what's your new hypothesis?
Time runs in a loop.
Mercenaries rely heavily on muscle memory. And Dia was able to use her experiences to avoid
The muscle
injury
memory
later
is
from
still there,
Sarasakas.
though the muscle memory is still there, even if the mental memory isn't. Is that something? Oh, I didn't listen to these. Wait a minute now.
The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha operations. We still hear it every night, even though we removed our Akasha terminals.
What is related to the bodily memories? No, listen. Let me listen to that again. Oh, god dang it. Oops. Please don't tell me I completed that.
We're still in the same day.
Thank God. Oh my god.
Would there have been a point?
Okay, let me go
You
back.
had spent the night with new worries, with tomorrow still. In that case, you might as well rest within that brief moment of hope. An
Paimon thought the Duke did that!
Of course. In the time we've been together, you...
Paimon's...
Nahida!
In other words...
Nahida's talking about confusing...
Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. So, Traveler, did the new clues yesterday help you gain...
Time loop is
Why are you
incorrect.
scrapping your previous theory? Oh, yeah, you're right!
So...
Muscle memory, not physical memory. Okay, so I can't listen to that then.
The moon, illusions, and lies. What do they all mean?
Illusions. Is it connected to that one? Dang it! Thought it was.
Okay, Nahida said, the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people.
Maybe it's that one, because the knowledge is taken from the people, but the muscle memory isn't. It doesn't take contact with the physical people. Technically speaking. This one? Dang it! thought I was being smart there.
Experienced the
This
Sub-Zero's
happened when
festival
I
many
was
times,
first doing this too.
and the day of the festival seems to be in a perpetual samsara.
Dang it, of course it's the last one. Memories are deleted every day. That's the sound of the beep.
If all our memories of a day are erased at the end of that day, then we would unwittingly relive that same day again and again.
But what about the supplies? The supplies are still back. Even if our memories are wiped, the supplies still should be gone. Like, say it's not in a loop, the days are still going by, but say if you took something from one day, say if you took the Sunsetia candies from one day, then the Sunsetia candies shouldn't be there anymore, because they've already been taken, right? We aren't in a time loop. Instead, our memories are being erased at the end of each day.
Oh, then the beep we hear every night could just be indicating the deletion of our memories.
But then what are the
That's why when we wake up, everyone thinks the
other
Sub-Zero's
things?
festival hasn't happened
What
yet.
about the physical
It's already the next
objects?
day, but everyone still thinks it's the day before. But muscle memory can't be erased. That's why Dia has been getting better at using her greatsword. Now everything makes sense.
Well, I took.
A brilliant deduction.
Oh, she's clapping for me. She only took a few days just to get better at her greatsword. Jeez.
Nahida, tell us if we're right or wrong.
To put it simply,
Hot
it's
or cold?
as if you've mistaken a pyro crystal fly for a firefly in the night. You lost sight of its true nature because you focused too much on your perception that it glows.
So that's a no then.
That isn't simple at all.
Still the wrong conclusion, huh? So you said we were focusing on the wrong thing. What do we need to focus on then?
Why don't you go talk to Miss Dia again? You might learn something new.
We don't have time.
She did help us find our latest clue after all. Let's go.
What? Can I teleport? Yes, I can. I'm trying to rack my brain around it because I genuinely don't remember. God, my memories are being wiped too! Well, that sucks.
There you are. Really took me a while to find you.
As expected,
Oh,
Dia
you were
also
looking
didn't
for
get
us.
hurt today.
Get hurt? Why would I? Don't underestimate me.
Well,
Are
you're
you
still
confused
getting
how we
used
know?
to your new greatsword.
Huh. Truth be told, I also think it's pretty strange. It just suddenly felt so familiar in my hands and... wait a second!
Yeah, there
How
it
did you
is.
know I got a new greatsword to begin with? I didn't tell anyone about it.
It's like, when is the realization gonna
Explain the
come?
situation to her today. Paimon's gotten a little sick of doing it.
Let's just get straight to the point.
Oh, that works.
Wouldn't it confuse her, though? You suddenly became proficient with your greatsword because... we've lived through the same day many times already, and our memories of the day are being erased every night. But what about the physical objects? Are the physical objects put back?
What happened to you guys while I was gone? Did you get brainwashed
The
by some
sages
cult?
wouldn't do that.
Don't think too hard about it. Just take what we're saying at face value.
Please.
Alright then, let me get this straight. You're telling me that my body's already gotten used to this great sword, but my brain just doesn't remember it?
Yes, your memory's being erased every day.
But not your muscle
I'd have to
memory.
disagree. That's impossible.
Yeah, it is impossible, but clearly it's not.
If we've actually been reliving the Sub-Zero's festival day after day, then what happened to the things we used? The money we spent, the food we ate? Common sense says my wallet should have emptied itself a long time ago. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed that.
I've thought about that too. But if the sages were behind this... Okay, so she realizes that the sages are behind this. That's good. If they utilize the entire city's resources as well as information supplied by the Akasha, where are you going with this?
Right! They could use the Akasha to record what everyone did that day, and then use the city's resources to replenish everything!
So...
It's not very likely, but it's also not impossible.
They are replacing
No,
everything?
it is impossible. I've got proof.
How?
You have proof? Where?
You two are surprisingly serious about this nonsensical discussion.
How can you stand
Fine,
on those
I'll
heels?
play along for a little longer.
How can
Come
you
with me,
fight in those
Miss
heels?
Dunazad.
How can
Please
you
come
walk
along
in
as well.
heels?
I still can't guarantee that this area is safe.
Paimon can't believe
Okay, so they're
Dio
trying to
wants
deduct
show
that
us something this time.
everything
2 days ago, we were the ones taking
is
her to
just
see
being
Dunyarzad.
replaced, but the sages wouldn't do that. Right? They wouldn't go that far just for their project, right? I mean, they'll go far so as to sacrifice lives, but not go so far to sacrifice their own knowledge. Right? What is this?
This is it.
A training dummy?
This is a wooden training dummy. What about it?
See those marks on the dummy? Those are the result of several days' worth of practice. Let's say the sages didn't replace it every day. Shouldn't it be hacked to pieces by now?
That's true, but what if they did?
Then the sages would have had to reproduce every mark I left during previous training sessions. I'm a professional fighter. My martial school has always emphasized the importance of refined control.
Okay, so as I was thinking then, they can't be replacing everything, but how?
The force, angle, and entry point of each strike is calculated and deliberate. That's why I remember every mark on the dummy, as well as my state of mind as I made each strike. It's just as they say.
That's how you
each
remember
swordsman
things. You
has
remember
their
things
own
based
unique
on
style.
the state of
And
your
even the
mind that
same
you were
swordsman
currently
can't
in
make
when
the
you were
same
doing
cut
something.
twice. It would be impossible to copy these marks.
Is it really impossible? What if they use some fancy machine to carve every single mark?
People
I
often say that a
doubt
camera's
that.
photo can never replace an artist's painting because the former has no spirit to it. The same thing applies here. At a mere glance, I can differentiate carved marks from the results of combat training.
That makes sense. It seems they'll have to abandon this theory. That's what I was thinking.
I hope that cleared things up for you.
No, it
Hey,
didn't!
Is this that new brain exercise game that's been super popular with the scholars lately? It's surprisingly fun.
No.
Anyway, it's getting
I
late.
wish
I
it
should
was a
escort
brain
Miss
exercise
Dunyarzad
game.
to Nilu's stage. See you later.
Well, back to square one. Is our memory deletion theory also wrong?
Should we confront the sages
At
about
least
this?
we've reached some other conclusions in the meantime.
We're not in a time loop, but we're not in the real world. Because everything is being replaced, but it's not.
Yep, that's true. So, can we think of any new ideas right now?
I suddenly realized that something is strange.
Strange?
Everything? Like the
Paimon
physical
feels
objects?
like everything's been strange lately.
Oh, it has. How come we never thought about leaving this? That's true.
Huh? Leaving the city?
There can't be a samsara in real
It's really
in
strange how we never thought of such a
the
simple solution.
day life,
Many
right?
things should become clear if we can confirm the flow of time outside of the city.
If we can leave the
I
city.
can't believe it. Did we
'Cause I
miss
tried
this
before.
because we're tunnel visioning too hard on our other theories? Or because we're just too tired?
Nahida said we were too tunnel visioned. I trust Nahida. We should have thought of this a long time ago.
How about we go back and ask Nahida? Maybe we
Ask
forgot
Nahida why you haven't thought of it? I have a feeling you wouldn't forget, though, even if you... Because you've been doing it for, like, at least, like, 50 or so days. Nahida, am I getting closer? Radishes actually kind of remind me of Nahida.
Nahida, we're back!
You're back early today. Did you find something new?
Should we leave?
We're mostly sure now that we're not in a time loop. And we also aren't in the real world. But at the same time, we have a new question.
Have we ever tried leaving the city?
Leaving the city. As far as I remember, you've mentioned your plans to do that twice before.
Twice? You don't remember it?
We did? But
I mean, memory's erased.
what happened after we talked about those plans? What did we say when
Oh,
we got
that's why! She put our memories in a time capsule. So then we wouldn't forget the specific things, so she wouldn't have to keep repeating, explaining everything. That makes sense, actually.
Let me think. I don't think you ever actually told me what the outcome was. Oh, it's probably more accurate to say that both times you never came back the whole night. But you two sometimes stay out the entire night anyway, so at the time, I didn't think too much about it.
It is true that sometimes we lose track of time during our
Does that mean we go back to the normal world
the next day.
if we leave the city? And then when we go back into it, we go into this, like, domain type thing?
Leaving town.
Really? That's kind of strange. In theory, I should have already awakened all your memories.
Yeah. Let's try again tomorrow.
Yep. Something here's definitely fishy. Let's get to the bottom of this tomorrow.
Beep! There it is. No. Okay, the Grand Sage didn't talk. That was
Memories are back!
creepy. Let's go try to leave the city. Don't have a lot of time!
Well, where should Paimon begin?
What do you mean?
Traveler, aside from your memories that were just restored, I have another message for you.
Okay, so you remembered that you mentioned leaving the city? That you still don't remember the outcomes? What did you remember? I don't get it! Another message? From who?
Listen to it and you'll understand.
See, the fact that it goes yellow here is really creepy because it did that in the Traveler's quest, I guess? In the chasm, when Lumine saw Aether with the Hilichurls, though that was in the distant past.
Can't go back. There are countless
Distant
places here.
past!
Our Sub-Zero's festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
Okay, so that's what the yellow means then. Can't go back, there are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zero's festival Sumeru City is just one of them? So they're all different then? This is my own voice?
Traveler, you should be missing 2 days worth of memories. Paimon will fill you in.
Why does she miss the memories? But Paimon
Time to carry
doesn't.
out our plan from yesterday.
Let's go to try to leave the city.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, I got chills because I actually remember what happened. I think. Partially. Head to the city gate to find a way out. There are many samsaras. What does she mean by many samsaras? Don't follow me, puppy, please. Are you not gonna let me leave?
Why can't we leave the city? What is the academia up to now?
A big thing!
Don't ask me. It's not like I can tell you anything. This is a direct order from the Grand Sage. Just wait until tomorrow.
Yeah,
I have a real emergency. My goods have already arrived at Port Ormos.
Yeah, there's more
If I don't
emergencies
hurry,
than
they'll
that.
be stolen.
That's your problem. Make sure you make a request in advance next time.
But it's not like you can just predict business matters in advance.
Well,
Looks
I
like
mean,
the Academia already announced the lockdown for Sumeru
technically
City
he
today.
can predict
completely
business matters in
unsurprising.
advance, though it's not in
Let's go and
advance since it's
question
in the
them.
present and the past,
Hello,
I guess.
sir. Why can't we leave the city today?
I'm gonna leave the
Here
city
we go again.
whether you like it or
Don't
not.
ask me. I don't know either.
You don't know?
We just received an order that no one is allowed to enter or exit Sumeru today.
So you're just gonna
They
trust
didn't
them?
tell us anything else.
Of course the Academia wouldn't share their plans with a pawn. No offense.
Angering me won't get you anywhere. If I had that kind of insider info, I would have left this stupid post long ago.
Okay, so you are just a
Looks
pawn
like
then.
he really doesn't know.
So the Grand Sage
Get anything out
doesn't
of
want
him,
anyone to
let's
leave.
take matters into our own hands. Why don't we climb over the walls?
And clearly the
guards
Grand
can't be
Sage doesn't
everywhere
know
at
about us, doesn't know that we know what's going on.
This is a good spot.
Are
and
we
the
different
guardians
because she's
notice
not
us at
from
all.
this world,
Let's
actually? Because Nahida's different because she's an Archon. Traveler's different because she's not from this world. What about Paimon? Paimon, stay here.
Huh? Why? Are you going to leave Paimon behind?
We need someone to stay and witness the events from this side. No! Sacrifice yourself!
But what if things get really weird out there and you get into some trouble? Then Paimon won't be able to help you.
Oh, Paimon!
Paimon knows that Paimon can't do much, but we've always been together.
And there's a withering there.
Haven't
That's adorable, Paimon. If we leave together, it would just be the same as before. So when the ding happens when you're out there, you just teleport it back here?
Okay. Paimon will wait for you.
Aww.
Promise
So
Paimon that
cute.
you'll come back as soon as possible. Just a quick look.
Okay, okay.
And please, be careful.
Oh, Paimon!
Memories!
Let's go and try to leave the city today. What?
Traveler!
Huh? Oh, because she didn't have her memories of the previous day? Does that mean the Traveler just teleported here instantly as soon as the ding happened? What's wrong?
Paimon thought Paimon would never see you again. You just disappeared.
Oh.
Paimon waited for you for hours and hours at the city wall, and you never
Oh,
came
Paimon!
back. You promised Paimon that you were only taking a quick look.
What did I promise?
Paimon,
That's
calm
so
down.
sad.
She's here now. I don't think she understood what you were saying.
No, clearly not.
Paimon doesn't care. Paimon wanted to go look for you, but you also said that Paimon should stay. Paimon was so worried and so scared the entire day.
Oh. Sorry. It's not like I had control over that, but the fact that Lumine doesn't know what happened, so we can't know what happened specifically. We know what happened, but we don't know what happened specifically. What she saw. Did she see the abyss when she left? And then instantly saw different Samsaras?
Okay,
I'm
Paimon will forgive
confused.
you. The most important thing is that you didn't actually disappear.
So she just like
Paimon was so scared that you
literally
had gone to
instantly
another
disappeared,
world.
or she didn't come back.
Okay.
Disappeared.
Paimon, can you tell us your perspective of what really happened yesterday?
Paimon describes your plan from yesterday.
I see. Using two people's different perspectives.
After that, you left the city. Paimon kept her eyes on you the whole time, but then you
Oh,
disappeared in an instant.
you sure that's what you saw? You weren't zoning out? That's creepy.
No
I got
way.
chills.
Paimon was watching you with the fullest attention.
Oh.
What's your perspective, Traveler? You sure you don't have any memory of this?
I didn't even know that yesterday existed.
I guess that explains everything. You also lost your memories the last 2 times you tried to leave the city. Those days' memories can't be awoken.
So, if we leave the city, our memories will be completely erased?
So they didn't just restrict access to Sumeru City, they were also erasing the memories of those who leave. Okay, so the memories are erased every single beep that happens every single night. But also when you leave the city, your memories are erased as well. Oh, now I really want to know what happened though.
It really sounds like something big outside of the city is being hidden on purpose.
Clearly, or
But
something
this way,
inside of the city
we'll
is
also
being
never
hidden on
discover
purpose.
what's outside.
For memories will be erased, can we leave behind something other than memories? To remember?
Something like a message? But how can we send it back?
Don't look at me like that. I'm not used to being stared at.
Yeah, because you were trapped in the sanctuary of Surasthana for 500 years.
Okay. You want something that can pass on messages, right? Give me some time and take care of Dunyarzad for me.
Yep, now we're talking.
You're the only one that can remember after every single beep. Because, you know, you're the Dendro Archon. Dunyarzad! Oh, that is adorable. Moon, you're getting more creepy than Celestia now.
I'm done. Here you
Getting
go.
there.
What? Isn't this just an Akasha terminal?
I made
Is
some
it like
little
a
changes.
fake?
Akasha terminals are already capable of sending messages. I just tweaked it so that it could connect to any node.
To make something like this? Nahida, you really know the Akasha like the back of your hand.
Yeah, something like that.
Use this now to record a message, right?
Literally.
I'll help you save the messages.
That was the message.
I just can't guarantee the user's status and signal coverage when they're outside the city.
We'll never know until we try. At least we're taking the initiative now.
So the item would still be with me if I kept it out there? It's worth a try.
Let's go then. Let's expose those sages.
Yeah, but Lubine sounded terrified when she said, "Don't go out there. Don't leave the city." I think you should still stay.
All right. Paimon isn't as worried about being separated since it happened once yesterday. But Paimon still isn't happy about it.
Aww.
Okay. See you tomorrow, Traveler.
That's adorable. And then there was that message.
That covers everything that's happened so far.
But then she teleported back? But she sounds so panicked, and maybe she did see the abyss. I don't know. So that message was what I left for myself when I left the city?
Yes. Although the signal was choppy and had some interference, we still managed to receive 2 messages from you when you were outside.
2?
Okay, now that you understand what's going on, let's hear the messages together.
Okay, we heard the first message.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zero's festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
She sounds so terrified.
I've entered another space. Before me are flowing sandstone and howling fish. Impossible and surreal sights.
Flowing sandstone and howling fish. Possible and surreal sights. So then that's definitely not the... That's definitely not to that. Illusion and lies, though.
All these spaces are empty.
The moon.
Except for the occasional ones that contain mute puppets rather than people. I can't sense any human presence.
Okay, so it's basically like when you were first creating a game and you haven't created the terrain yet, but you created the characters. That's creepy though. Illusion and lies and the moon.
That's one heck
Is that
of an
connected?
info dump. It sounds like you left the Sumeru city space when you set foot outside of the walls. But everything looked completely
At what
normal
time
when
were these
Paimon was
recorded,
looking out
though?
from the inside. That's unbelievable. And if we take your word for it, the other spaces all had very weird contents.
There's another part here. We only received it last night.
These spaces have been disappearing, one after the other, absorbed by something like a sun in the sky.
The moon!
And now, even the final space has also disappeared.
The final space?
Behind me, a lot of spaces just appeared again from thin air. I get it now. Those spaces are actually...
What? What? No, you can't leave me on a cliffhanger like that. I don't remember this.
What did the traveler want to say? What are those spaces?
Spaces appearing and disappearing. Then the spaces behind her appeared suddenly. She gets it now. The spaces are suddenly... The spaces are... what?
Probably because yesterday just happened to end at that moment.
No! Of course it did!
Paimon did hear a beep from the Akasha. Did it come from here or from the message?
Well, it wasn't a beep, it was a
It
fuzz,
should have come from the
fuzz
Traveler's
sound.
Akasha terminal.
But maybe that's what it actually sounds like?
After the beep, Traveler said even the final spaces also disappeared.
What does that mean?
Traveler, what do you think that final space could have been?
I don't know. The final space finally disappeared. A new space appeared behind her. She gets it now. The space that disappeared was technically considered to be yesterday, and the space that appeared is the new day. Or the real world. I want to listen to all of these, but
All the bizarre spaces
thinking
I
this
saw
one.
outside the city had one thing in common. A lack of human presence.
But I thought you said you saw people. Saw outside the city. A lack of human presence. Illusions.
Was that space actually the real world? But wouldn't a real space just randomly disappearing like that be catastrophic?
I think it's this one.
My impression is that each day in this samsara only ends at the sound of that beep from the Akasha.
Or maybe it's the real world. I don't know. Or maybe it is this one.
Oh, so that's what it is! After the sound of the beep, the final space, the Sub-Zero's festival, also disappears, and we're taken to the next day. Later on, Traveler also mentioned a bunch of new spaces materializing behind them. Do lots of new spaces appear every day? Paimon's head is spinning.
Because there's multiple samsaras, so multiple spaces appear and
Well,
disappear.
Consider this. For all the horrors of the Archon War, at its heart, it was just a game where a bunch of gods fought over 7 seats.
Yeah, that's actually true.
So no matter how strange or spooky things may look on the surface, maybe all they point to in the end is a small and simple secret.
Wow, the Archon War, huh? That's an analogy and a half.
A secret, huh? Give me some time, I need to organize my thoughts. Yeah, I'm all the more confused. What did Nahida mean by that? Is her Akasha different? No, I thought it was different. Maybe it's only different when that yellow stuff appeared. Organize your thoughts on the familiar bench in the city. Okay, that's over here. I'm trying to wrap my brain around it, though.
Do you want some alone time to think? Alright then, Paimon won't disturb you.
What the heck? This isn't helping!
The dance of Sub-Zeros is about to begin. I'm going to go watch it.
It's that time already.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead, Dunyarzad? We still have some other stuff to do first.
Okay then. See you later.
Dunyarzad, no!
Have you figured it out yet, Traveler? Time is ticking away.
I think I know the answer now. Do I?
Awesome! What is it? Paimon wants to know.
So do I!
Oh, wait, no. Let's meet up with Nahida first. You can tell us both together.
Please teleport me there.
This time we're gonna get to the truth.
Please. You're gonna teleport me there? Talk to Nahida. Oh, it didn't teleport me there. Wait. Ooh, leaving this area will interrupt your story experience. This may affect your current quest progress. Yeah! So I can't leave then. Because if I leave, it's going to reset all of this. It's going to go back to the first day that we entered the Samsara. Yeah, I'm not redoing 3 hours just to test something. No, thank you. Ooh, I am gonna collect this though. 100 more, nice. Nahida, I think I figured out the answer, but I don't know what it is.
You're back. I've been waiting forever for you two. Judging by the looks on your faces, are you ready to take your Sub-Zero's exam and graduate from the festival?
Ask away, Miss Nahida. That's adorable.
Okay. First off, have you discovered the hidden truth?
No! Hidden truth. Hidden truth is the Sub-Zero's festival because people's memories keep getting wiped, right?
I've already experienced the Sub-Zero's festival many times. And the day of
But
the
that's not a
festival
hidden truth
seems
for
to be
us.
all the
Ooh. Dreams with no human presence. Wait, what is she saying here?
all the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common. A lack of human presence. Okay.
See if there's anything new
Nahida
here.
said, the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people.
Okay, this one appeared, but I'm gonna look at that last.
The moon, illusions, and lies. What do they all mean?
I don't know!
People in Sumeru don't dream. What a strange
That's something.
phenomenon.
But why don't they dream? Dreams with no human presence. Dreams? What?
Those spaces remind me of dreams. Like the one I had in the Avidia Forest. Except these have no sign of human presence.
There was no sign of human presence because the people in Sumeru can't dream, but that doesn't mean other people in Teyvat can't dream. Maybe that was just because this was just one Samsara, and she was only seeing the Samsara from Sumeru, right? The truth behind dreams.
We are all in a dream. It isn't that the people of Sumeru don't dream.
They don't remember it.
The Akasha is taking their dreams from them.
Well, that's just depressing, man.
People in Sumeru think they don't
Oh,
dream.
the bigger
The truth
conclusion
is,
that
Akasha
Hida was
steals their
hinting
dreams
at.
without them knowing it. And those spaces with no human presence are stolen dreams without their host. That would explain why they sounded so weird when she was trying to describe them. Huh. So people in Sumeru do dream after all. In fact, we're all in one big dream together right now.
That's a little confusing.
Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is capable of this?
I liked that she gave me time to figure this out. The Akasha was capable of this. The Akasha's operation requires a gnosis, the gnosis of the Dendro Archon.
The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate.
But she didn't say what gnosis specifically. Did she? Did she? The Akasha is a manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. Yes? I'm still confused about the Akasha system.
It is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power.
Why does it sound... Why is there an echo? That's weird. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace.
Oh, okay.
No!
Those dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power
Dang
from
it.
the Dendro Archon, right? That would explain why the Akasha has the ability to control people's dreams too.
And I don't want to leave Genshin because I don't want it to reset
Everyone's
something.
dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom? Isn't there anything more to it than that?
Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming.
I skipped something!
In other words, dreams are rich bundles of human wisdom.
So in other words, the complete
I guess that was the
opposite
answer.
of how Hypatia understood it. Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions, and the fact that no one dreams is a blessing from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So it was all a dirty trick? The real story is that the sages from the Academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their own use, huh?
And they don't intend to stop there. They're doing something with it.
Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the samsara?
Okay, I'm not gonna click that. The samsara. It's a loop, she said. Though it's not a loop because it's every day passing by, though it's a dream? The Akasha sound.
The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha operations. We still hear it every night, even though we removed our Akasha terminals.
The appearance and disappearance of spaces. Oh.
Those spaces kept disappearing before my eyes. But as soon as that beep sounded, many more spaces materialized.
Because that was the coming of a new day. Okay, so this is clearly the one. Grand Sage's speech.
Grand Sage said, "Go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content." Did he mean something more?
Yes, because he is literally the cause of all of this. He is the reason why we're in the perpetual samsara. But clearly they wouldn't erase their own memories, so they're, other than us, they're the only ones that can remember all of this.
My mind feels exhausted. We've already experienced the Sub-Zeru's festival many times, and the day of the festival seems to be in a perpetual samsara. Those dreamscapes kept vanishing. But as soon as that beep sounded, more new spaces appeared.
More spaces appeared.
We've already experienced the Sub-Zeru's festival many times.
Okay, so it's either related to this one or that one. Dang it. There we go. Mass production of dreams.
Correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own dream. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sub-Zero's festival along with everyone else's, while their now vacant dreams are harvested by the Akasha.
I am so confused. I'm really confused.
No one is any the wiser as another day passes in the dream, and so begins another samsara cycle. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival. The dreams that belong to them are once again harvested by the Akasha, and so it continues.
So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is a dream harvesting machine. Did Paimon get that analogy right?
Very good, Paimon.
So basically, every time it resets, they dream again and they collect the previous dream, right? Or they collect the current dream that is currently being dreamt. Blah.
So that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals. Taking off our terminals in this dream doesn't do anything.
Because it's a dream. Okay, that actually makes sense then. Because we're not taking off the Akasha in the real life. You're taking off the Akasha in the dream, that doesn't do anything.
Alright, last question. Who am I?
You're Kusanali. You are the moon. Illusions. Lies.
They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro Archon.
She is the Dendro Archon!
So then, if Nahida has referred to herself as the moon...
She is illusions and lies? What?
Now that I think about it, wasn't illusions a hint that we're all dreaming?
Yeah, but she said she was the moon. She was illusions and lies. Was that her hinting that this was all a dream?
Now that I think about it, wasn't illusions hinting at the sage's deception of Sumeru's people?
Yeah, I basically said the same thing in this one, but... The sage is lying to the people. Illusions is the dream.
So you know this.
You are the Dendro Archon. You're Lesser Lord Kusanali. Yeah, that was revealed a long time ago.
I thought that one would be the hardest question.
No, I'm even more confused about your previous questions.
That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you is different. We just didn't want to expose you is all.
Oh, really?
Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hinting to us since the very beginning.
Yeah, I actually like things, as I mentioned, that hint at the main plot to something, but you don't know what it means until it's eventually revealed in the end. It's really cool because, like, something is hinted at, just barely noticeable. You're like, whatever, to brush it off. But then it's revealed later as something important, and you're like, so that's what that meant. It's really cool.
It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Paimon didn't expect to meet you like this.
No, definitely. Wait, you didn't expect to meet her on her birthday? Well, to be fair, how did you get out of the sanctuary of Surasthana? Well, maybe you didn't. This is just you presenting yourself to me in the dream? This doesn't seem like a good time to ask questions, though.
Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life.
Probably.
On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have about here and now.
Nahida, I have so many questions. I have much more questions than this, but I can't bring the questions to words. Just because it feels like my brain has actually exploded. Nahida, you were right in saying that if you told me specifically, my brain would explode. Well, you didn't tell me specifically. My brain is still exploding. It's a Friday. My brain can't handle this. Why didn't you simply tell us the truth? She said our brain was gonna explode, so...
You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your minds. Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hopefully make more sense. Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this instead of you learning it on your own?
Okay, they said don't wake a sleepwalker because when you wake a sleepwalker, they get, like, very emotional or very angry and they can be prone to outbursts. That's just from what I've heard. But... the Traveler and Paimon do that?
Your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk.
What do you mean by that, though? We wouldn't know what was real and what wasn't?
That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some
I love the
suggestions.
detail in that.
Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing.
Aww! Nita! How did the sages manage to keep people from noticing this? Do they have... well, it makes sense if they had the gnosis, but... so the sages trapped her in the sanctuary of Surstana because they don't accept her as their Archon, obviously. And as I was mentioning before, I think in the previous stream, I said something along the lines of, like, technically she could escape from the sanctuary of Surstana because she is a literal Archon. She could escape the sanctuary with force. Probably. But she doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to cause harm to the people that are causing harm to her. I love you so much, Nahida.
Firstly, this dream we're in is completely based on reality.
Obviously.
People have already experienced this Sub-Zero's festival, so it would be very difficult for them to find anything that strikes them as surreal. Secondly, you're probably wondering why people don't have any memories from earlier samsara, right? That's because people don't remember their dreams most of the time anyway.
That's true!
And in any case, their actual dreams are being taken away from them by the Akasha. So whenever they wake up in this dream of the Sub-Zero's festival, they don't remember anything from their previous identical dream.
That reminds Paimon. Traveler had a dream when we were in the Avidia Forest, but couldn't see what it was about after waking up.
It was the Urban
Is that
Soul.
an example of what you mean?
Yes. Only after receiving the blessing of Dendro can a person gain the Dendro element's dream-enhancing power. That explains the feelings of deja vu.
Dream-enhancing power? I guess that makes sense because...
has no idea that they are in the Sub-Zero's festival.
No, it doesn't, because people who gain the Dendro Archon are regarded as, like, really smart. Everyone else had no idea they're in this, because their dreams are stolen from them over and over again. Like, how most people don't remember their dreams. The side effects of a mass-produced dream? Yeah, I think we can see those side effects. She's actually covering her face with her hands, which is really funny because prior to this, a lot of people were making fun of Genshin for not being able to close the characters' eyes while they're laying down, so it just constantly looked like they were awake when they weren't. And I think Genshin got a little self-conscious about that, so they covered her eyes. I think her eyes are still open. Though I don't know, they can do all this and yet they can't close the character's eyes? How does that make sense? Whatever. Mass-produced dream.
Can humans really keep dreaming forever like this? Will it ever end? And if so, when?
Time runs in a loop, she said.
Your mental fatigue has already answered this question. Eventually, there's only so much that people can tolerate.
They will collapse.
Especially those whose health is compromised to begin with, like Dunyarzad. This relentless exploitation takes an even harder toll on them.
People's lives are at stake here, and nobody knows a thing! We've got to put a stop to this!
Okay, but how? Why is the dream about the Sub-Zero's festival? specifically? Just because that was the day they started it? Or because that was the day that the sages could interfere in something specific?
I know, right? Why did they have to base this dream on my birthday? Could it really just be a coincidence?
I don't
Even you
think
don't know
so.
the reason? Wow. Now that's strange.
Yeah, because she doesn't know what they're doing, I don't think.
Determined to harvest lots of dreams in a short time, no matter the cost. They have to be up to no good. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about it. Traveler, do you have any information?
Why on this day specifically, the Grand Sage's speech, celebrate your god forever, he
Grand
said.
Sage said, go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content. Did he mean something more?
It clearly shows that he was the one at fault, but...
The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people. Those spaces remind me of dreams, like the one I had in the Avidia Forest. Except, these have no sign of human presence.
Celebrate the birth of that god? Could it mean...
Could it mean what? Don't leave me on a cliffhanger like that! I thought it was gonna continue! Man! I don't have any more questions, I guess.
Deceiving the people of Sumeru with no regard for their safety. No matter what they're trying to do, this is unforgivable.
Why don't you take action?
After
You're
we end the
literally a
Sabzeruz Festival
god!
of Samsara, we have to look into them.
How can the sages of the Academia do this behind their Archon's back? This is ridiculous!
To them, she's not their Archon. Rukadavada is, which is actually really funny.
Is Long Khan.
A sun and a moon? Nahida's talking in riddles again.
Okay, so she said, what did she say specifically? In the end, I'm just the moon. The real sun is gone. When she means the sun, she means Rukadavada, I think. She's just the moon. The reason the moon glows is because the light of the sun. I know the ending of this, but I'm still trying to piece it together. It glows, it's alive because of the sun. I guess that makes sense. To those who don't know what I'm talking about, it'll all be revealed much later. But I'm still trying to rack my brain around it. The sun is the reason the moon glows. Oh no! Not again!
We're out of time today!
I'll tell you how to break free of the samsara tomorrow. See you then.
Oh, where's Junior's on?
Wait, now that Paimon remembers everything, should we instead say good morning, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Other people don't know that! Nahida? Did you break free of the samsara?
You don't look too good.
Junior's no! Where is Junior's
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct.
No! Wait, did she actually die?
Did Dunyazad already disappear? No way!
Wait, disappear?
Are we too late?
The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared.
Her consciousness
It can no
isn't
longer endure
disappeared.
the constant dream harvesting.
Does that mean she died? Oh, Piss Lumine is so cool, though. But It said her consciousness disappeared, but did she die?
Paimon can't believe it.
Fizz
Wait,
Louise!
so what about that other Dunyarzad? Just what is she? Is she also going to disappear?
She's actually something like a puppet, but not completely.
What?
The real Dunyarzad's consciousness could no longer keep playing her role in this dream.
Does that mean she's
So
still
another
alive?
Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the trees, that Dunyarzad is just a building block of the
Don't
dream that
remember
helps to
any
keep
of
it
this
going.
and it's torturing me.
Personality-wise, she's nothing like the real Dunyarzad.
Puppets are stiff and can't copy a living person's vitality. After all, they're just there as filler.
Oh man, why is what you said so sad? It reminds me of A, but it also reminds me of Wanderer, the Balladeer, Scaramouche, whatever you want to call him. Oh, he's the Wanderer to me. But living person's vitality. That reminds me of A and the puppet. But it also reminds me of the Balladeer because the Balladeer was the first puppet for A. Although, since she didn't want to destroy him, she set him free, sad backstory, that kind of thing.
You know, speaking of which, the old Dunyarzad might not have been too different from a puppet.
Dunyarzad truly believed that she met you within her consciousness, and it was you who inspired her. So you do remember her after all.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so small,
Her
it's so
family was
cute.
overly protective of her. No one cared about her personality or thoughts. It was as if she only lived to stall her Elazar. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a
A
new way.
little wisdom that
So that
saved
she
her.
could be her own person. But even so, she's still...
You're kind, Archon. I mean, see, that gets me thinking again back to what Dainsleif said, because he said to trust the Archons, though not with your complete trust. And all the Archons thus far have hidden at least something from us. Venti, literally everything. Zhongli, the contract, and almost everything. Abe, what did she hide from us, actually? I mean, she technically hid her true self. But I have a feeling she's hiding a lot from us, too. Now, even after all of this continues, I haven't done her second story quest, but I feel like that Nahida is hiding something from us, too. Something related to Celestia. That's just my thoughts.
Far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a real Archon.
Oh, Nahida, no! You are a real Archon! Don't downgrade yourself just because of Rukkhadevata. I promise. It's really not what you think.
I couldn't even save her.
No!
If I were a competent Archon,
Nahida, no!
I wouldn't
Could
have let my
stop
most
the flow
faithful
of
follower
time.
die at the Sabzeruz festival with so many regrets.
That wasn't your fault,
Please
though.
don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida. It's the sage's fault, and theirs alone.
It is.
I'm not beating myself up.
But you are.
All I did was to rationally observe the distance between myself and a real Archon.
Nahida, that is beating yourself up.
That, Nahida. Even real Archons are still allowed to be sad.
Nahida.
To prevent more tragedies like this, we must end the samsara as soon as possible.
Great, but how do we do that?
Yeah, how exactly?
Although the Sabzeruz festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. Even the Akasha is unable to create them. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it.
Okay, so it
Huh?
belongs to one of
So,
the sages,
how
if
should
not
we
the
find
Grand
that
Sage.
person?
Well,
Right?
if this is someone's dream, then everything here must come from deep within their consciousness.
If it's a dream that's being controlled by the Grand Sage and others, then it wouldn't be the Grand Sage. It would be someone they could manipulate easily. I love how her cape just instantly combines with her clothes just for a split second. It's really cool.
Which means, with the power of imagination, they can change anything in this dream.
Imagination? What do you mean by that?
Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal.
Okay.
Like when the server at a tavern brings a plate to you, you'd naturally assume that food is on it.
Obviously.
However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, when you imagine gold and more on the plate, the dream will respond in kind, and the server really will bring you gold and mora. But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times they're served, it will always be food.
Okay, so it's someone who can be controlled easily then. Information is subtly being fed to them so that they create this specifically, right? So we find the host, then what?
Find some way to make that person realize that they're dreaming. Usually, once that happens, the person will wake up and the dream samsara will be broken.
Okay.
How are we going to find them, though? If it could be anyone, it'd be like looking for a needle in a
It's
haystack.
literally everyone in Sumeru City.
And even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make them realize they're dreaming?
Pinch them?
After all, like you said, don't wake a sleepwalker.
Yeah, because they're gonna get aggressive and punch us.
Difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. Remember, everything you've achieved up to this point has all been for the sake of finding the host and ending the samsara. As for me, during this time, I'll be out of town.
Out of town?
You can go
Are you
there?
going to that place full of dreams where the traveler went?
Yes, I want to try something. There must still be a
Well,
small
since
wisp of
you
possibility.
remember things instantly and you're the Archon, maybe you'll actually have your memories of that, of outside of the samsara or outside of the dream.
Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of pleasant surprises. Unnecessary things like this samsara need to end.
Go, Nahida!
Paimon's still a little upset that we've come this far only for Dunyarzad to...
But that's the thing. What was Nahida doing outside of the dream? Was she somehow going to the future or past to do something about Dunyarzad?
She was such a good person, with such a simple wish. But fate was against her.
Demoralized.
Yeah. Saving Dunyarzad is what kept us going this whole time. But we mustn't lose hope, Traveler. Dunyarzad would definitely want to see us save everyone else. So let's break the samsara for her sake.
Okay, so she did die.
I was wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this dream? Feels like it would be easier to control it that way, no?
Unlikely. Because if they were to know about it, then... Yeah, if they know about the plan, they'd probably become aware that they weren't dreaming.
Huh.
Unsuspecting host.
Plus, the sages probably weren't counting on
Gains
there
more
being
control.
other factors beyond their control. Like Nahida and us.
Oh, definitely not.
So, who do you think the host of the dream is?
Someone with a strange get-up. Maybe Ferris the Knight of Flowers?
Oh, that would make sense. Ferris the Knight
It
of
did
Flowers
make
is the
Ferris
symbol of
appear
the
more
wholesome
often
Zerus
than not.
Festival, right? Pretty core character. Let's go ask him some questions, shall we?
Hey, we believe you're dreaming. Can you just, you know, wake up? Please? Now, I don't know if I should continue here or not. Ooh, I can wish exactly once. Oh, we can wish twice. I'm gonna save on that, though, and wait till I have 10 pulls, because I like doing 10 pulls better. Excuse you? What the heck? No, let me look. Okay. Nope, it's not playing fair. Oh, there we go. So was it just the 110 pull? 510. Yeah. Okay, just checking. I think I'm going to end the stream here, and we will pick this back up on Monday. Because I don't know how long it really is until the Samsara ends. See, I'm curious, actually, because when I leave, I don't know if it's gonna save. It should, but I don't know. I'm gonna check really quickly. Is it gonna save to the exact same thing? Because normal domains sometimes don't. And this is like a domain. Please? Oh, thank God. Okay, so it did go back to normal then. Yeah, I'm gonna leave on that cliffhanger here because my brain has just officially exploded. I feel like if I weren't wearing headphones, steam would be coming out of my ears right about now. There's a chest there. I'll collect that later when I care. So, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and night to wherever you are in this crazy world, and I will see you guys on Monday. Bye!